Do you have a consumer-related issue? Want to learn more about matters concerning you as a consumer? Well, keep it locked to Nationwide 90 FM for the Consumer Hour with me, Nora Gay Banton, weekdays from 9 to 10 a.m. For all your consumer-centric matters, stay tuned to the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Ready to tackle that building project? Start right. Start here at H&L Rapid True Value for building supplies. The time by H&L Rapid True Value is
Nationwide time, 5 o'clock.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, incisive, tough. This is Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Robian Williams.
In Nationwide News, at this hour, the Holiness Administration is proposing a 200% increase in jury stipends.
We're asking Parliament to approve the much anticipated increase in stipend for members of the public empaneled to serve as jurors.
I would never hurt my girlfriend. I did not kill Donnelly, and I have nothing to hide.
Constable Noel Maitland declares his innocence in an unsworn statement in court.
The PNP's Dayton Campbell says not a single customer in his constituency has had electricity restored.
The Works Minister Robert Morgan is pushing back against criticisms from the PNP about roadwork spending.
In news from the rest of the world, U.S. files for warrants to seize dozens more Venezuela-linked oil tankers.
The U.S. Justice Department prosecutors have resigned amid turmoil over Minnesota ICE shooting investigation.
In sports, Francis Apple hit centuries as Windies under-19s thrash Japan in warm-up clash.
And later in our broadcast, in the cover story at 5:35, the anti-corruption lobby group National Integrity Action NIA has appointed a new principal director. His name is Dr. Gavin Mars. Who is he? He'll join us.
In Public Opinion at 6:26, we ask, what's your reaction to the JCF acquiring 1,000 body-worn cameras? Give us your comments by logging on to our Facebook page, Nationwide News Network, and by tweeting us at Nationwide Radio, and message us on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693. You can also leave your comments on Instagram at Nationwide 90 FM.
In the nation's business at 6:40, the owner of the vending machine seen selling KFC and other fast food seeks to clear his name after restaurants distance themselves from his venture. Owner of Zoop's Food ATM, Milton Ray, will join us.
From 7 to 7:30, it's Nature's Remedies with Dr. Denise Daly. Tonight we'll be looking at the Senna plants.
All these and more as we take you home on air on your mobile Nationwide 90 FM, RevaNews.ai, and on the Reva News app, available on the Google Play and the App Store. This Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday, January 13, 2026.
The hour is brought to you by KFC's Festive Feast. Share the love this season with the new KFC Festive 9 Bucket for $4,500. Proceeds from every Festive Feast purchase goes towards hurricane relief. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
And now to the details on this Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday, January 13. Several significant changes are coming to the country's Jury Act to improve the administration of justice in the nation's courts. These include an increase in the stipend for jurors and allowing judges to continue a trial alone in cases where jury tampering occurs. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck made the announcement in Parliament on Tuesday. He says the Parliament will also soon have to determine whether jury trials should be abolished completely. Shalois Michael has more in this report.
The Justice Minister told the House of Representatives on Tuesday that the Holiness Administration is proposing a 200% increase in the stipend now paid to jurors.
We're asking Parliament to approve the much anticipated increase in stipend for members of the public empaneled to serve as jurors. Following considerable deliberations, the bill before the House proposes to increase the stipend paid to jurors from $2,000 to $6,000 for each day or any part of a day that they serve on a jury.
Where persons are called for jury duty and are not ultimately selected, They will receive a stipend of $2,000 each day they show up for the selection process. Delroy Chuck says the administration is also moving to address an issue that arose during the cartel trial. In 2024, the Privy Council overturned the convictions for cartel and his co-accused after it was found that the trial should have been brought to an end following allegations of jury tampering. At the time, the UK-based court bemoaned the fact that Jamaica had no legal provision allowing the trial judge to continue the trial without a jury. Minister Chuck says the government will now fix that issue.
The bill also reflects a significant development in our jurisprudence as we are seeking to introduce a new legislative power for judges. In an instance where there is evidence of jury tampering or a real and present danger that jury tampering would take place and the interest of justice demands it, a judge may discharge the jury and order that the trial be conducted without a jury.
But beyond the question of jury tampering, the Justice Minister also wants Parliament to determine if citizens accused of crimes should be tried by their peers at all. He's proposing a joint select committee to consider the matter.
In particular, to examine and receive recommendations from all stakeholders in the justice sector and the wider public, whether jury trials should continue to be a feature of our court system, and if so, what cases are most appropriate for a jury trial or bench trials, or if we should consider abolishing jury trials altogether and opt for bench trials only.
Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, opposition leader Mark Golding wants the Holness administration to declare its position on whether jury trials should be abolished before sending the matter to a joint select committee. He was posing questions to the Justice Minister in the House of Representatives on Tuesday.
Does the government have a position on the issue of whether jury trials should be retained in some form, whether present form or some modified form, or we should move entirely to a bench trial system? I think the government, as a formulator of policy, one would expect to put forward its position on this, having consulted to the extent it seems necessary. I'm not sure what the government's position on it is. To send it to a joint select committee for a discussion without the policy of the government being clear seems odd to me.
Mark Golding, opposition leader, in response, the Justice Minister indicated the government has taken no final position on whether jury trials should be abolished. But MP for East Portland cautioned the government on proceeding to abolish jury trials without the widest consultation.
The jury system or trial by jury serve as the last bastion of hope, protection from prosecution from the state. So it's a case where persons must even have a feeling that they're being tried by their peers. Even in today's what peers look like is a bit different, but that the aspect that the layman is participating. So we invite citizens to participate and encourage them to participate in the voting process, but here it is now they're being excluded.
Isat Buchanan, MP for East Portland.
To the courts now, murder-accused Constable Noel Maitland broke his silence in court on Tuesday, declaring he did not kill his girlfriend, social media personality, Donnelly Donaldson. In an unsworn statement from the dock, the constable insisted he has nothing to hide and that he would have never hurt Donnelly. Robian Williams was there.
For the past 8 months of this trial, Noel Maitland has sat silently in the dock listening intently as the Crown laid out its case against him until today, January 13, 2026. For the first time, the murder-accused spoke openly in his own defense. In an unsworn statement from the dock, Maitland declared, "I would never hurt my girlfriend. I did not kill Donnelly and I have nothing to hide." He told the court he has known Donnelly since 2019. He said their relationship was one marked by regular arguments. Recounting events surrounding July 2022, Maitland told the court that he picked Donnelly up on July 10, her birthday, and spent time with her before taking her home. He said they had planned to continue celebrating, and 2 days later, on July 12, he picked Donnelly up and they went to his New Kingston apartment. According to Maitland, while at the apartment, an argument erupted over a call from the mother of his child, a recurring source of tension. He said she always have an issue with me still dealing with her. Maitland told the court the argument was never physical. I don't have any thought of hurting Donnelly, and I would never, ever kill Donnelly. He said he went to bed during the argument, but he continued saying, she woke me up and she left, and I haven't seen Donnelly from that day since she left my apartment. Addressing forensic evidence, Maitland sought to explain the tiny traces of blood found at his apartment. A government forensic analyst testified that Donnelly's DNA was detected on a brown drape, a black and red Puma shoe, and a throw pillow cover seized from Maitland's apartment. The former police constable told the court, the only way I can account for the tiny spot of blood that the forensics saw at my house is Donnelly had 2 miscarriages for me, one which happened at my apartment, and we had sex on the balcony when that happened. That's the only way that could have reached my house. He emphasized that investigators found very little blood. Not a lot of blood was found at my apartment. No blood was found on the floor. No blood was found on the walls. The Crown didn't address the fact that the tiny spot of blood could have been there a year or more ago. I sat here and I listened to the experts. They said it. Maitland maintained he cooperated fully with the police. He also challenged testimony regarding blood allegedly seen on his settee and criticized a witness who claimed to observe blood running like rice grain. No blood was detected in the coach. No blood was detected in the truck, and no blood was at the car wash. There was no blood in my coach, and this lady is a liar. He accused a neighbor who testified of bias. That man does not like me because I am not in support of his lifestyle. I am not surprised he came here and said I told him to delete footage. I have played my music several times, the Buju Banton song, Boom Bye Bye, out loud. Anytime him start to make a lot of noise, I play it from my apartment. Turning again to his denial, Maitland repeated, I would never hurt my girlfriend. I did not kill Donnelly. He ended his statement by asserting, the prosecution team has established my good character, and my character witness coming. They will show my good character. I would never hurt my girlfriend. I did not kill Donnelly, and these are my few words. Following the statement, defense attorney Christopher Townsend told the court that at least one additional witness is expected to testify. The matter was adjourned until Wednesday morning at 10. Robian Williams for Nationwide News.
Thanks, Robian. Now, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is urging local investors to take advantage of available government initiatives to help drive the country's gross domestic product GDP. The Prime Minister made the call while speaking on Tuesday at the opening of Wysinko's brewery and new manufacturing facility in Lake Spence in Catherine. Mahiri Stewart attended.
Wysinko's $35 million facility launched on Tuesday is expected to employ 285 persons. While praising the opening of the new facility, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness also encouraged leading figures in the private sector to follow suit by investing more in Jamaica. Prime Minister Holness urged them to make use of the raft of initiatives his administration has introduced to encourage investments of this magnitude.
We introduced an accelerated capital allowance regime designed to incentivize companies to invest, expand and modernize their productive capacity by allowing businesses to write off major capital investments more quickly. And we are lowering the effective cost of expansion, improving cash flow in the early years of the investment, and I use this opportunity to encourage other firms, other investors who are thinking about it to let's just do it now. The government policy and environment supports long-term capital investment decisions.
According to the Prime Minister, Jamaica is more than capable of adding more to its GDP, and the private sector is paramount to achieving this.
If in real terms, in the last 10 years, we have just added approximately $1 billion, maybe $1.5 billion to our GDP. As a nation, that's not something that we should be proud of. We could do more. And therefore, I use this platform, as I have the attention of some of our larger investors here, to challenge the investors. Now is the time to increase that I in the equation. Let's expand the investment.
The Prime Minister notes that Jamaica is nearing investment grade status as credit rating agencies are continuing to improve the country's rating. He stressed that this is a clear sign that Jamaica is worth investing more in.
In the closing week of last year, all three major international credit rating agencies, Standard & Poor's, Moody's, and Fitch, reaffirmed Jamaica's sovereign credit standing with a stable outlook. If we get to investment grade, we don't have hands to receive investments. So we are getting there slowly but surely. So clearly, people who study the global market and study Jamaica's position in that market have confidence. So if there is this confidence externally, then our business people, I encourage you. I thank you for what you have done, but I encourage you to do more.
Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
You're listening to the news on Nationwide at 5. We'll have more after these.
See twice the style for less at IQ Optical. Buy one pair of glasses and get your second and third pair half price. Don't miss out. Call 876-929-7732 or visit IQ Optical today, where clarity never looked sharper.
The time by IQ Optical is
15 minutes after 5.
Termites, rodents, or birds infesting your home or office? Call Rentokil Initial, the pest expert, at 876-926-4236 for a free pest assessment island-wide. The temperature brought to you by Rentokil Initial is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston and Montego Bay. Continuing the news, just over 2.5 months after the passage of Hurricane Melissa, Energy Minister Darrell Vaz is hailing the progress made in restoring electricity to health and emergency services in the worst affected areas. The minister provided the update in the House of Representatives on Tuesday.
Important milestones have been achieved despite extreme engineering challenges, access, and constraints. All major hospitals and health centers have been restored, ensuring continuity of essential health care. The Black River Hospital got back light on Christmas Day.
In addition to the restoration efforts for health services, Minister Vaz says several key water systems have also been brought back online.
There has been 93% overall restoration of all National Water Commission pumps and water treatment facilities, supporting water security across Jamaica. And I say congratulations to my colleague Minister Samuda for his hard work and collaboration on this matter.
Darrell Vaz, Energy Minister. The Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, has announced that 92% of their customers across the country have had their electricity restored. Minister Vaz says the accelerated restoration effort has been assisted by the $150 million loan from the government to the Light and Power Company.
But the Member of Parliament for Eastern Westmoreland, Dr. Dayton Campbell, says not a single JPS customer in his constituency has had their electricity restored. He made the claim in the House of Representatives following the Energy Minister's statement revealing that 92% of JPS customers island-wide have had their electricity turned back on.
There is not one customer of JPS in Eastern Westmoreland that is currently with electricity. What? Not one. Of the 17,000 persons, customers in Westmoreland that are currently without electricity, over 10,000 of them are from Eastern Westmoreland. Approximately 60% of them are from Eastern Westmoreland.
Dr. Campbell says while there are proposals for restoration in communities in the constituency, no action has been taken.
They say the substation is paradise to come so you can service Darliston and Betheltown and other areas up in the hill. And then from Magati so you can service Whitehouse and other areas down on the flat. They have a proposal to do that restoration. But as of today, there is no customer in Eastern Westmoreland with electricity supplied by the JPS. None. Not one. Not one single solitary one. One dege, none.
That's Dr. Dayton Campbell, the MP for Eastern Westmoreland.
World in a Minute is brought to you by Hose Assembly and Supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
The world in a minute.
The U.S. government has filed for court warrants to seize dozens more tankers linked to the Venezuelan oil trade. This as Washington consolidates control of oil shipments in and out of the country. The U.S. military and Coast Guard have seized 5 vessels in recent weeks in international waters that carried Venezuelan oil. The seizures were part of Washington's campaign to force Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro out of power. Since then, President Donald Trump has announced plans to control Venezuela's oil resources indefinitely. The U.S. government has filed multiple civil forfeiture actions in district courts, primarily in Washington, D.C. The move enables the seizure and confiscation of oil cargoes and ships that have been involved in the trade.
Roughly half dozen federal prosecutors in Minnesota have resigned in the criminal section of the Justice Department. The resignations come amid turmoil over the federal investigation into the killing of a woman by a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE officer in Minneapolis. There have been growing tensions over a decision by the Trump administration to block the state from the investigation. The woman, Renee Good, was fatally shot in the head by the immigration agent last week. Lawyers in the Civil Rights Division, which generally investigates high-profile officer shootings, were also recently told that the division would not be involved in the probe. The prosecutors are the latest in an exodus of career Justice Department attorneys who have resigned or been forced out over concerns on political pressure or shifting priorities under the Trump administration.
World in a Minute was brought to you by Hose Assembly and Supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
Recapping the top stories making nationwide news at this hour, the Holness administration is proposing a 200% increase in jury stipends.
We're asking Parliament to approve the much anticipated increase in stipend for members of the public empaneled to serve as jurors.
I would never hurt my girlfriend. I did not kill Donnelly, and I have nothing to hide.
That's what Noel Maitland told the 7-member jury in an unsworn statement today.
And the PNP's Dayton Campbell says not a single customer in his constituency has had electricity restored.
I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Robeanne Williams.
Listeners, you can find the news on our website at revanews.ai and on the Reva News app, available on the Google Play and the App Store. News next, the headlines at 6.
For a limited time, Home International Limited is offering a special price on select Corian colors. You can't miss this. Choose Corian for your kitchen or bathroom countertops. Corian is durable, beautiful, and long-lasting, solid right through, and no sealing necessary. Visit us at 104 Constant Spring Road or telephone 876-755-1970 or 276-6448. Open Mondays to Fridays, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Cliff Says is by far the most popular mid-morning radio segment in Jamaica. Cliff Hughes shares his views on the hot-button topics of the day, editorializing on various issues in the news, breaking news stories, and expounding on stories. Cliff Says sets the tone of the show for the rest of the day. Join the award-winning journalist Cliff Hughes weekdays during Cliff Hughes Online at 10 to 10:30 a.m. Join the revolution in media.
As we grow older, there are many challenges that we have to confront, but these years can represent the best in our lives. Coming of Age during Nationwide This Morning on Thursdays explores issues persons 50 and over confront. It also provides expert opinions on how we can improve the quality of our lives as we get older. That's Coming of Age, this and every Thursday during Nationwide This Morning at 6:51 a.m.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Sports here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. Jamaica made a losing start to their campaign at the Cricket West Indies T20 Blaze Women's Cricket Competition at Arnesville in St. Vincent today. They went down by 9 runs to the Leeward Islands a short time ago, chasing 109 for victory. The Jamaicans struggled to keep pace and finished on 99 for 8 from their 20 overs. The West Indies player Shadeen Nation, she led the way with 48, and of course she was the anchor of the Jamaica team. Now the captain Stefani Taylor made 25, but the required rate proved just too much for the Jamaicans in the end. Jazara Claxton, Shawina Hector, and Deveronique Maynard led the Leewards bowling, each claiming 2 wickets apiece to restrict the Jamaicans. Earlier, the Leeward Islands, they posted 108 for 5 of their allotted overs. It is built around solid half-century from Shawina Hector, who top scored with 56. Captain Amanda Edwards, she chipped in with 25 to give the side a competitive total in the end. Nation was also among the wickets for Jamaica, finishing with 2 scalps. In the meantime, Guyana, the defending champions, they made a winning start to their defense. They beat the Windward Islands by 7 runs in the opening game of the tournament, also at Arnesville. The Guyanese made 96 for 5 in their 20 overs, with their West Indies star Shakiba Gajnabi making 38. The Windwards were then restricted to 89 for 5. Junior Glasgow 41, and Afi Fletcher, another West Indies player, made 33, the most runs for the Windward Islands. The opening day will climax later on this evening, where the Trinidad and Tobago taking on Barbados in a big game also at Arnesville, and it's set to bowl off at 6 o'clock Jamaica time. Still with cricket, Tanis Francis and Shamar Apple, they both struck commanding centuries for the West Indies under 19s to register a big 229-run win over Japan in their latest warm-up game ahead of the ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup, which is set to bowl off on Thursday over in Zimbabwe and Namibia. After their opening warm-up game was washed out, they were scheduled to play Scotland. The West Indies team made full use of the good weather today, and batting first, they made 346 for 6, the Windies did, from their 50 overs. Opener Francis, he anchored the innings with a polished, unbeaten 122, featuring 6 fours and 3 massive sixes. He was well supported by Apple, who blasted a rapid 124 from just 65 balls. He struck 10 fours and 8 sixes. Joel Andrew, the star of the team, he also chipped in with 31. And Kai Wall was the standout bowler for Japan. He bagged 2 wickets, set a daunting target of 347 for victory. Japan never threatened, and they were dismissed for 117. And RJ Gittins led the bowling. He bagged 4 for 8, while the Jamaican left-arm spinner Vital Antonio Laws, he claimed the 3 for 28. And the head coach, Ron Nurse, had high praises for Francis and Apple in particular, noting their composure and intent while they were at the crease.
It was very pleasing for the 2 youngest members of the team to show their ability, show their understanding and the growth, and to experience something that many persons would aspire to do, and to score a century at this level, be it in a warm-up game, is still very valuable for them and their development and confidence.
The West Indies team will be playing their group games over in Namibia, and they open their campaign on Thursday on the opening day of the championship. They take on Tanzania, and Coach Nurse says they'll use Wednesday to rest and fine-tune preparation ahead of the Tanzania game.
Tomorrow is a rest day for the squad, and that's where the majority of planning and analysis will be done going into that first game. Lots of emphasis will be on recovery, hydration, given the fact that we would have pretty much had a full game today. And it's going to be very important that the guys start the tournament very well. So that's one of the major focuses, that we do hit the ground running.
Bangladesh, they appear ready to pull out of the 2026 ICC T20 World Cup, set to bowl off in just about 25 days from now. The Bangladeshi Cricket Board on Tuesday reaffirmed its decision not to play its 2026 T20 World Cup matches in India, citing security fears. The reaffirmation came in a statement released on Tuesday, shortly after a video conference with the sport governing body, the ICC. The tournament will be co-hosted by India and Sri Lanka, and it's set to bowl off on February 7. Bangladesh, they're currently scheduled to play all their group games in India, including 3 of them at Eden Gardens in Calcutta. Among those 3 games is one against the West Indies. In fact, it's their opening game on the opening day. That game is scheduled for Eden Gardens in Calcutta. So 3 games going to be played in Calcutta, and they have one against Nepal that's scheduled to be in Mumbai. However, the ICC pointed to a recent security assessment that found no specific or heightened threat to the Bangladesh team in India, describing risks as low to moderate at some of the venues. And the ICC has also urged the Bangladesh Cricket Board to reconsider the decision. And the tensions escalated after Bangladeshi pacer Mustafa Rahman was removed from the Kolkata Knight Riders IPL squad, followed by Bangladesh decision not to broadcast games from the IPL. Talks between the BCB and the ICC are set to continue. They could really face a nightmare if the Bangladeshi team should pull out, given the massive television rights in the Asian continent. Some news now on football. The Arnett Gardens captain Fabian Reid has achieved the rare feat of completing a local football coaching license while still playing football. The 34-year-old former Clarendon College starman has successfully completed the JFFC diploma coaching certificate. The man affectionately called Parko Blacks. He says despite the start of his foray into formal coaching, his immediate mindset is to continue playing football and banging in the goals.
So to be honest, I'm not really ready yet. I still have some more in me. You understand? As you can see, still around 90, still scoring more you understand, over the years. So it's nice to have the coaching license, nice to do a transition from players to coaching. So, love it, and I love the aim that I'm going forward to. Over the years, I play and coach. As you can see, every time the leadership always show up with the team and with me. You understand? As you said, leadership will come from me.
Yeah, that's Fabian Reid. Well done, Parko Blacks. And of course, he banged in a pair of first-half goals on Monday night at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex to steer Arnett Gardens to a 2-0 win over Harbourview, a crucial win over Harbourview that pushed them to 7th in the Ray Nephew Jamaica Premier League standings. They're back in action again on Thursday with Arnett Gardens. They travel away to take on Chapelton Maroons. And of course, a full schedule of games are on in midweek, including 5 on Wednesday. We'll tell you about those when we come back for our major sportscast at 6:05 this evening.
For all your custom framing, printing, graphic design, and purchase of art, Make It Frame Art Jamaica Limited, serving you for over 40 years. The time by Frame Art Jamaica is
5:32.
Need to make a change to your title or need a title? Geoland Title Limited is the place to be. They do lost title application, add and remove names from titles, wills, estates, first-time registration, land surveys included, affordable rates and flexible payment options, National Land Agency adjudication and land titling waivers available. They have 8 locations island-wide. Call 876-754-6436 or visit their website at geolandonline.com. Geoland Title Limited. Secure your land, secure your title.
It's hard-hitting. It's riveting. It's the much-talked-about cover story during Nationwide at 5. Here Cliff Hughes get to the heart of the story of the day. Cover Story aired 5:30 weekdays during Nationwide at 5. Nationwide at 5. Talk radio at its best. Cover Story.
Cover Story is brought to you by JTA Credit Union, serving our members, impacting lives positively.
Multilink, roll with control. Use Multilink, safe, fast, and accepted in more locations.
It's Monday, get over your blues. Or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The E-Zone is here for you. With the Stinger Honeybee
and Karim Boyatings
from 3 to 5 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM.
We've got your entertainment news.
Then we want to hear your views. Why you say?
Jump in the mix.
Or the hot seat.
Don't miss our brain busters.
Or the crazy giveaways.
Let's talk fashion.
Send us your outfit of the day. Ooh, cutesy. Very demure.
Are you looking for love?
come on one of our blind dates. Send your request to ezoneblindates@gmail.com. That's ezoneblindates@gmail.com.
And stay tuned for your confessions.
Share them with us at ezoneconfessions@yahoo.com. I mean, is this planet Earth?
Is it?
I don't know. Let me check. Either way, it's got a buzz.
And a bugger thing.
Ow! Ow!
Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90FM, a new revolution in media.
What's everyone talking about? It's Front Page in This Morning. Get the issue of the day this and every weekday morning at 7:20 a.m. on Front Page. This Morning. Morning radio the right way. Front Page is brought to you by ABC Electrical for a better choice in the electrical business.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us here nationwide at 5. I'm Cliff Hughes.
Good afternoon, Cliff. Good afternoon, listeners. My name is Ricardo Brooks.
Good afternoon, Ricardo. How
Good
you
afternoon.
doing?
I'm all right.
Good. Well, in our cover story this afternoon, the new principal director of the anti-corruption lobby group, National Integrity Action, is Dr. Gavin Myers. The appointment took effect on January 1, 2026. It follows the resignation of Daniel Archer. The civil society organization made the announcement on Monday.
Dr. Myers holds a PhD in Management Studies from the Open University in the United Kingdom and a first degree in International Relations and Political Science from the University of the West Indies at Mono. He has expertise in voluntary sector management, community outreach and development, and social entrepreneurship and innovation.
He's also a certified restorative justice facilitator and a trainer in youth development and community research and engagement. Dr. Myers conducted research and led community and social projects in Jamaica, the Caribbean, and the UK.
He has previously been employed to NIA as a community outreach officer and an event coordinator between June 2016 and March 2020. He joins us now. Good afternoon, Dr. Myers.
Good afternoon.
Hello. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Good.
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, your job, the role of Principal Director of National Integrity Action at this time, how do you see that job going in terms of the Jamaica of 2026?
The Jamaica of 2026, the Jamaica of 1962, the Jamaica of 1980, the Jamaica of 1990 is the same thing. We want our resources to work for us as Jamaicans, and we want a Jamaican state, Jamaican leadership, and Jamaican that is accountable to the people. And that is something that we all believe in, that regardless of where we are or whatever it is, this is something that we all believe in and strive for. So my role as National Integrity Action is as a voluntary sector organization, as a civil society organization, to help support citizens as we talk through that. That's, I think, what my role is now.
Mm-hmm. And you're succeeding Daniel Archer, attorney at law. What do you see as the most important work she has done, and how do you intend to build on that?
You know, I'd like to think that we're running a relay, and Daniel ran an excellent leg. You know, if you talk about mixed relay, she ran the back leg, the back stretch really good. There were structural changes, understanding of the legal and social phenomenon that is promoting anti-corruption and integrity. She champion that. Along with that, the partnerships that's built around the volunteer sector in Jamaica. I'm sorry, I'll use volunteer sector every now and then. I need to remember that the civil society in Jamaica. So the partnerships that's built around civil society in Jamaica, the outreach that should built up around how it is that we as a people can engage is something that is critical for us. And along with that, which is also very critical for us, she ensured that we saw that there wasn't one face, or there was just one person. She ensured that there was a whole organization. And this is something that is fabulous and fascinating.
Mm-hmm. How many people count themselves as members of National Integrity Action?
No, so there's two things I would be very unable to answer, you know. You have specific numbers in terms of that. I'll be quite honest, I am not in office, so I'll just be able to just set you that I could get back to you with the actual number of members that we have for NIA, of volunteers that we have, and of persons who we have reached out to who are willing to participate with us. If you just send me that as an email or even a message, so as a reminder, I'd look for the numbers and share it with you.
Okay, but would you consider it significant?
So I'm a qualitative researcher. I'm a believer that even one person is important. I don't know what you would consider significant, but I think the business of building up integrity is significant, even if it's 2 people do it or it's 10,000 people doing it. But I think it's very important and significant.
I asked the question because there is the tendency sometimes in this country that there are those of us who sit in Kingston and, you know, whether we're in studio.
Country, by the way, so don't tell me to come with the Kingston person,
Let me ask the question. Let me ask the question, Dr. Mars.
Okay, sorry.
Whether we sit in nationwide studios or we're at NIA, and you know, we think that we represent or properly represent the views of a wide cross section of Jamaicans, and that's what I'm trying to get at. How representative is NIA?
How representative? So NIA has members. Over the years, we have had members for all 14 parishes. I have done presentations, and I'm just using my time way back before I went to do my PhD. That's 2020 or so. I have done presentations up in Mavis Bank. I've done presentations in Darlington. I've done presentations and discussed with farmers in Manchester. I've done presentations and discussions in St. Mary. I think if we divorce 2 points, one, a national groundswell that people want to be participatory in the democracy of Jamaica. If we divorce that from actual civil society organizations that are working either specifically in a certain place, Kingston, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, if we divorce the two, we would miss out on a major point that we are all pushing for the same integrity. And the understanding that we need to have is that democracy and part of the democracy is not just merely counted by the fact that, this organization A has 5 members, or organization B has 2 members, so hence they don't count. I think a democracy is built upon the fact where all citizens know that their voice matters. And I'm sure you believe in that too.
Absolutely. In championing that those voices and pushing the advocacy, do you think it would be fair, as I've seen some people say, that NIA has become partisan?
All right, 2 things. One, I can't comment on anybody's fairness or anybody's thought about what is fair.
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you if you think it's fair.
What I know is that NIA's position is one that is built upon practice, what is built upon research, is built upon a specific request for accountability, probity, and transparency in government office. I know that NIA champions anti-corruption regardless of who is in the seat of power, and this is something that we should do all the time. I also know that every Jamaican, whether they pay a phone card, or they own a big business, believe that our resources should work for all. So anybody who don't believe that, I want to say it is unfair to request that, then me and them can't answer things.
Yeah, so is the answer to the question, no, you don't think so?
No, I am answering my question in that way. Me no really feel that I can answer about anybody feeling that it's unfair.
No, but I'm asking you, I'm not asking you about anybody else. I'm asking you, Dr. Mars, as you assume the helm. Do you think the criticism that NIA's advocacy has been partisan in its leaning or its coloring is fair.
No, I would say that is wrong. I would say that the persons who would say that, whether the PNP is in power or the JLP is in power, both parties would accuse NIA of being partisan to the other side.
Yeah.
So if two people are called a partisan and they're on opposite sides, then possibly they're doing something good.
And so those who say, as I've seen them saying online, that your posturing, you specifically know, your posturing has been, has been anti-government. They're wrong?
Define, well, you're asking two questions in one. That Gavin is anti-government. So may I try to understand?
And that necessarily may affect, as the leader of the organization, how you present the organization and how you present your advocacy.
Okay. Well,
but before you get to the second part of the question, the first part, that your posturing online has been anti-government.
Well, I don't know what my posturing is. That's one. And I'll say it this way. One, I am as transparent as I have ever been. And anybody who has ever looked at me and known me for all the years that I have been around will know that there are certain things that I stand for. I'm a country boy who believes that Jamaica is better if all of us work together. And everybody who knows me, that is very important. Everybody who knows me knows that I have never been one to shut up when I see wrongs going on. I have never been one to hide my opinions or to state what I think is so. I am also one of those people who believe that I should have strong opinions, but it should be loosely held. So if I am presented with facts otherwise, I am completely willing to change and say I will go this way. So the other thing that I am very sure about is that it's not some form of posture online. Is that I, Gavin Myers, believe that Jamaica is better and needs to be better for all of us.
So those are those who say you're anti-government. They're wrong.
I can't speak for people.
I only ask you to speak for yourself. So I'm asking you, are they wrong?
I am not anti anything. I am pro Jamaica. I am pro
Dr. Myers. Dr. Myers. The question is specific. Are you anti-government? It's specific.
I am not anti-government. That is specific. Okay. But I think the question, how it was worded, was trying to guide me to say that I am now anti-government at some point. I am pro-Jamaica.
We're up on a break.
Order Pizza Hut online at pizzahutjamaica.com or through WhatsApp at 876-837-4488. Pizza Hut, now that's delivering. The time by Pizza Hut is
5:46.
A tip for safe and responsible gambling. Gamble on a budget and don't use money needed for unnecessary expenses. For information on responsible gambling, call RISE at 888-991-4146. A message from the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission.
13 minutes going up to 6 o'clock. This is The Cover Story, the program nationwide at 5. I'm Cliff Hughes.
And I'm Ricardo Brooks. Dr. Gavin Myers is the new Principal Director of National Integrity Action, NIA. Outlining for us his vision of the organization, he says, Jamaica first, and he will always stand for what's right. I've been asking Dr. Myers to respond to allegations I've seen online that his posture, his viewpoints, his worldview has been anti-government. He rejects that characterization. Dr. Myers, can I take you to a tweet that you made on the 9th of June, 2025, in response to my colleague Jovan Johnson, who was quoting the Prime Minister, who says, we have documented over 250 achievements. We're going to create a book with 175 of the major ones. All of you must know that what your party has achieved. We need army of informed laborites to challenge lies. That's the Prime Minister quoted there. We've lost Dr. Myers. Dr. Myers' response, a reminder that the JLP's approach to sharing information, as per their own account, is to deny all other accounts as misinformation and to digitally harass anyone who doesn't toe their line. I wanted him to respond to that, but you're saying we've lost him? So he says the JLP... Dr. Myers?
Yeah, man. Hello. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's fine. Where did I lose you?
We just came back from a break.
Okay. So I was bringing to your attention a tweet you made on the 9th of the 6th, 2025, in response...
Are you sure about the time? Okay, good.
At 6:58 a.m., in
Good.
response to my colleague Jovan Johnson of The Gleaner, who quoted the Prime Minister as saying, "We have documented over 250 achievements. We're going to create a book with 175 of the major ones. All of you must know that what your party has achieved, we need an army of informed laborites to challenge lies." Your response to the Prime Minister was to tell your followers a reminder that the JLP's approach to sharing information as per their own account is to deny all other accounts as misinformation and to digitally harass anyone who doesn't toe their line. You think the governing party has been digitally harassing people, Dr. Maz?
Yes, I think supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party have been harassing people online. I do believe that we have a very antagonistic atmosphere online, and that there are persons who are bent on disinformation and misinformation. It is not something that is only said by me. This has been said by researchers both in Jamaica and across the world. This is something that we know. Trying to bring it that it's just by one political party, or that it is in response to singular action, would be not speaking about it in the broader sense of what is happening. We are in a decline in a narrowing political space and public space, and we need to ensure that the voices are able to speak, whether they dissent or support. And if we have a space where persons feel it is their right to cow down or push away, then we have a problem. I believe that all voices should converge, whether they support or not support. Do you disagree with that?
I don't disagree with that.
You see that? No, there we go. We're good. I am agreeing.
Except I couldn't find an instance where you specifically accused the PNP as well of digitally harassing anyone. And I tried to.
Oh, you tried?
I did.
How long ago you looked?
Well, up to coming on air, I was looking through
and that's very good.
The tweets.
I am very good that you looked to 2025 and found that one. I have been on Twitter for since 2015, and I've been on the Facebook since maybe for a good while, and I'm very certain that if you check my posts about state and the state action, you'll see that. And then you'll also know that if you would see my work in youth work, you'd see that I am very, very importantly strong for us as people having the right to speak, regardless of who is in power.
Dr. Myers, Cliff Hughes here. What do you see now that you have taken on the job of Principal Director of the NIA? I'm sure you would have given it some thought during the interview process now that you have been formally appointed. What do you see as the most pressing integrity and governance issue that you will have to focus on in terms of Jamaica today? Outside of what you said at the beginning, yes, which really spoke to the mandate of the NIA. I'm talking about issues, specific issues.
So, there's one thing that we have to agree on, that there has been a decline in active citizenship. Active citizenship in terms of any one of the numbers. Whether it is that membership in political parties, membership in trade unions, we have seen a decline in just membership of churches and institutions. Another thing that we can use is that there has been a decline in even protests. So what we're seeing is that there has been a decline in this. And this is problematic for a country that prides itself on being able to share its voice. And you know also, if we continue along this line, and other countries are finding out this, that the other aspects of national life is impacted. So that's one area that I know the NIA is interested in and that I'm interested in. The other thing is...
So hold on, just let me pursue that a little. So yes. You're also seeing a decline in membership of the NIA, are you?
As with all political sector organizations, yes, there's been a decline.
Okay, so that is one of your priorities, to grow the membership of the NIA.
To increase participation. Maybe not just... And I know my board would find it weird to say it this way. I think that collaboration, which is working together across organizational boundaries, is important. So we need to build collaborations and build partnerships. So whether people are members of NIA or members of their local community group, football group, or even Kiwanis, and are pushing towards the same goal, this is critical for us as a country. So it is building NIA, but also building other civil society organizations that we can all stand up and speak about. And for Jamaica.
Have you been able to ascertain what has been causing the decline in membership?
So membership decline has been something that has been seen across all. So I don't think I have personally to speak about what are the things that speak to Jamaica and the NIA specifically for me to know answer. But what I could do though, and this is another thing I'll write down, I look internally at whatever resources we have written down about what some of the persons who used to be members and are not now, what are some of the areas that they have suggested. But that would be a narrow search, and it would take me a bit of time because we have a very small organization in terms of number of staff. We're a small organization, but I'll find it for you if you give me some time.
Absolutely, Dr. Myers. How would you assess the integrity landscape in Jamaica in 2026?
That's a very good question. You know, Jamaica has a very long history of public participation, but there's also what we talk about consistency. We have stops and starts, we have promises, we have some areas where persons have been strong in and other areas that they haven't been in. So there are some areas that the citizens have been calling out for integrity in, and others that are so entrenched that we don't even know how wrong it is. So it's that situation, but I would say as a country, and if you think about it since, and I can use some milestones for me, 1944, 1962, 1967, 1972, 1980, 1989, 1997, 2002, then maybe 2007, then let's say 2010, and now 2020, you could see where changes as citizens have been demanded, have called for and called for changes that have redounded to the betterment of us all. And those are in the political sphere. But then you can talk about those that have been happening in civil society-led areas. Trade unions, women's rights group have been advocating. So there are changes that are happening that have been making Jamaica better. And our work is to consider that mission. The short answer is that integrity is growing and people are demanding it in their own way.
Yeah. NIA is also, I certainly recall under Daniel and under Prof. Monroe, that you took an active interest in the legislative agenda. Any particular areas that we should expect you to champion?
So one of the areas that is very important, and I'll say this, Professor Monroe can speak about this a lot and other people, is the rights of workers. And the rights of, there have been certain laws that have been languishing, certain legislation that has been languishing for a while. Occupational safety, health and environment, that has been languishing for a while. It's important for us. Understanding what is next with the Integrity Commission and the other related areas. Strengthening the Auditor General and their role. Other things like that are important. But it is just that we have very importantly, modernizing the laws that are there around certain areas. We have a Town and Country Act that dates back to the 1800s. So things that are very important for us. Even though we speak about them specifically now around integrity, we can see how they impact upon us in everyday life.
Yeah. All right. Dr. Gavin Myers, the new Principal Director of NIA. Thank you for your time, and we wish you the very best, and we hope to have future conversations.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you, Dr. Myers. Good.
Dr. Gavin Myers, he succeeds Daniel Archer at the helm of National Integrity Action.
Okay. That's how we're going to leave it for the cover story this afternoon. We're going to make way now for the headlines at 6.
The hour was brought to you by KFC's Festive Feast. Share the love this season with the new KFC Festive 9 Bucket for $4,500. Proceeds from every festive feast purchase goes towards hurricane relief. KFC, it's finger licking good.
If it's in the public's interest, it's the nation's business during Nationwide at 5. The nation's business.
Not a mercy. This one is very classic, dedicated to all the schoolers who are taking them.
If you've ever struggled to pass an exam, then you'll know that students today are under great pressure to get good grades and secure qualification needed to move on to higher education. The problem is that too many students are struggling alone and could really benefit from connecting with hardworking teachers and other bright students in other parts of the country and the region. Join me, Dennis Brooks, this and every Friday evening from 8 to 9, with a repeat on Saturday morning from 8 to 9. For the A-Team, a study group on radio, my team of teachers, students, and experts will break down the syllabus, giving you information, tips, and past paper questions that will help you get top grades in your upcoming exams. Follow us on Facebook Live and on Twitter and be a part of the community. It's the A-Team. Fridays at 8 p.m. with a repeat at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. It's your free extra class on radio and social media. And it's right here on Nationwide 90 FM, the revolution in media.
The time brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy is 6 o'clock.
Nationwide headlines at 6.
Good evening with the headlines at 6. I'm Nora Gay Banton. The high-profile murder... Several significant changes are coming to the country's Jury Act to improve the administration of justice in the nation's courts. These include an increase in the stipend for jurors and allowing judges to continue a trial alone in cases where jury tampering occurs. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck made the announcement in Parliament on Tuesday. He says Parliament will also soon have to determine whether jury trials should be abolished completely. The Justice Minister told the House of Representatives on Tuesday that the Holness administration is proposing a 200% increase in the stipend now paid to jurors.
We're asking Parliament to approve the much anticipated increase in stipend for members of the public empaneled to serve as jurors. Following considerable deliberations, the bill before the House proposes to increase the stipend paid to jurors from $2,000 to $6,000 for each day or any part of a day that they serve on a jury.
Where persons are called for jury duty and are not ultimately selected, they will receive a stipend of $2,000 each day they show up for the selection process. Delroy Chuck says the administration is also moving to address an issue that arose during the cartel trial. In 2024, the Privy Council overturned the convictions for Cartel and his co-accused after it found that the trial should have been brought to an end following allegations of jury tampering. At the time, the UK-based court bemoaned the fact that Jamaica had no legal provision allowing the trial judge to continue the trial without a jury. Minister Chuck says the government will now fix that issue.
The bill also reflects a significant development in our jurisprudence as we are seeking to introduce a new legislative power for judges. In an instance where there's evidence of jury tampering or a real and present danger that jury tampering would take place and the interest of justice demands it, a judge may discharge the jury and order that the trial be conducted without a jury.
Delroy Chuck, Minister of Justice. Meanwhile, opposition leader Mark Golding wants the Holness administration to declare its position on whether jury trials should be abolished before sending the matter to a joint select committee. He was posing questions to the Justice Minister in the House of Representatives on Tuesday.
Does the government have a position on the issue of whether jury trials should be retained in some form, whether present form or some modified form, or we should move entirely to a bench trial system? I think the government, as a formulator of policy, one would expect to put forward its position on this, having consulted to the extent it seems necessary. I'm not sure what the government's position on it is. To send it to a joint select committee for a discussion without the policy of the government being clear seems odd to me.
Opposition leader Mark Golding. In response, the Justice Minister indicated the government has taken no final position on whether jury trials should be abolished. But MP for East Portland, Isat Buchanan, cautioned the administration against proceeding to abolish jury trials without the widest consultation.
The jury system or trial by jury, juries serve as the last bastion of hope, protection from prosecution from the state. So it's a case where persons must even have a feeling that they're being tried by their peers. Even in today's what peers look like is a bit different, but that the aspect that the layman is participating. So we invite citizens to participate and encourage them to participate in the voting process, but here it is now they're being excluded.
Isat Buchanan, MP for East Portland. Works Minister Robert Morgan is hitting back at criticisms by his opposition counterpart Richard Azan that road conditions continue to worsen despite billions spent on road rehabilitation programs. In a release last Friday, Azan called on the government to give an account for road spending. According to him, several communities remain burdened by broken, unsafe and poorly maintained roads. But on Tuesday, Minister Morgan dismissed the rhetoric as baseless claims.
The recent comments rely on old political formulas of broad claims, inflammatory language, and selective accusations presented as proof, while failing to provide the specifics that Jamaicans deserve. He alleges that billions have been spent while conditions continue to deteriorate, but provides no figures, no defined timeline, no project lists, and no contact references. If he has evidence, contracts, payments, conflicts, it can be submitted to the relevant authorities. If he does not, then insinuation is irresponsible. Simply because Mr. Azan is forced to say something, that doesn't mean he's forced to say just about anything for a soundbite.
According to the Works Minister, Azan is more than a decade late to the conversation on road repair and maintenance. He says while the government welcomes scrutiny, it will continue to reject criticism without particulars and insinuations without proof. Minister Morgan says the various road programs are not mere slogans, but practical interventions focused on results communities can see and use.
The Spark program is a capital program that focuses on improved drainage, stronger services, and resilient construction. We just launched the Go Rehabilitation program as a response to Melissa, and we're delivering targeted emergency interventions through this program. We had the REACH program, which has now ended, and that was a response to Beryl. The government is advancing reforms such as the One Road Authority to improve delivery and accountability in the road sector by strengthening systems, sharpening oversight, and modernizing how Jamaica plans, executes, and maintains road infrastructure.
Robert Morgan, Works Minister. And Patrick Hilton is the new president of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, PSOJ. He succeeds Metri Siaga, who had served for a 3-year term. In a statement on Wednesday, the PSOJ says Mr. Hilton brings to the presidency more than 3 decades of experience in banking and finance, having most recently served as president and chief executive officer of NCB Financial Group. The organization adds that Mr. Hilton's career has been defined by a commitment to excellence, innovation, and disciplined execution, with a reputation for balanced, customer-centric leadership. He was appointed by government to a leading role in the restructuring of the financial sector in the mid-1990s, work that culminated in him being awarded the Order of Distinction Commander Class in 2002. In 2020, he was conferred the Order of Jamaica for his distinguished contribution to the financial sector and philanthropy. Mr. Hilton has also served in several governance and advisory capacities, including as chairman of National Commercial Bank Jamaica Limited, NCB Capital Markets Limited, the Mona School of Business and Management. Meanwhile, the three newly appointed vice presidents are Joanna Banks of Sagicor Group Jamaica, Matthew Lynn of Caribbean Brothers Group, and Mariam McIntosh Robinson, an individual member. They join continuing Vice Presidents Gail Moss Solomon of Grace Kennedy Limited and Hugh Grant of the Jamaica Public Service. Those were the headlines at 6. Sam Norgay Banton. Sports is next.
How certain are you that you're taking proper care of your pets? How often do you take them to the vet? Just as we need annual checkups with our doctors, most pets need regular checkups too. Owning and caring for a family pet doesn't have to be a difficult or burdensome experience. Nationwide 90 FM has an exciting feature called Pets World that will help you take better care of your pets. Join Nationwide 90 FM every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning as we take you into the do's and don'ts of caring for your pets. That's Pets World every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
This is an important announcement from the National Water Commission. The National Water Commission will be conducting necessary pipeline interconnection work under the Hopeton Road to Waltham Park pipeline project in Manchester from 1 p.m. on Wednesday, January 14 to 1 a.m. on Thursday, January 15. During this time, customers in Greenvale Housing Scheme, Big Head Street, Texas Street, George Reed District, Georges Valley, Perth Estate, Cedar Grove, and communities along the Kingsland Main Road to Hopeton may experience temporary water supply disruptions. Additionally, the entrance to Hopeton Road from Hatfield Main Road will be closed from 8 a.m. on Wednesday, January 14, 2026. Motorists are therefore advised to use alternate routes. Its eastbound traffic seeking access to Hopeton Road should use George Reed Road to access the area. Motorists wishing to travel along Hopeton Road to exit onto Hatfield Main Road are also asked to use alternate routes. Interconnection works at the Waltham Road Perth Town intersection will be conducted simultaneously. Persons traversing this area are advised to proceed with caution and obey all traffic wardens and posted traffic signs. The NWC regrets any inconvenience this necessary work may cause and urges its customers to store water for use during the specific period. That was an important announcement from the National Water Commission.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care.
Good evening with your sports report. I'm Alex Webby. We bowl things off with some cricket as the nation's unbeaten 48 went in vain as Jamaica women slipped to a 9-run defeat against the Leeward Islands in the CWI T20 Blaze at Honest Vale on Tuesday. Chasing 109 for victory, Jamaica struggled to keep pace and finished on 99 for 8 from their 20 overs. Nation anchored the innings with a composed knock but lacked support as wickets fell irregularly around her. Stephanie Taylor added 25 but the required rate proved just out of reach. Jazari Claxton, Shanisha Hector, and Devonique Maynard led the Leeward's bowling effort, each claiming 2 wickets to restrict the Jamaicans. Earlier, the Leeward Islands posted 108 for 5 off their allotted overs, built around a solid half-century from Hector, who top-scored with 56. Captain Amanda Edwards chipped in with 25 to give her side a competitive total. Nason was also among the wickets for Jamaica, finishing with 2 scalps. Jamaica will next be in action on Thursday against Barbados. Meanwhile, Guyana made a winning start to their title defense, beating the Windward Islands by 7 runs in the tournament opener, also at Honest Vale. The Guyanese made a 96 for 5 in their 20 overs, with their West Indies star, Shabika Ghaznabi, getting 38. The Windwards were then restricted to 89 for 5. Janila Glasgow 41 and Afri Fletcher 33 made most runs. Tanez Francis and Shamar Apple both struck commanding centuries as the West Indies under-19 registered a massive 229-run victory over Japan in their second warm-up match ahead of the ICC under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup, which bowls off on Thursday in Namibia and Zimbabwe. After their opening warm-up encounter was washed out by rain on Monday, the young West Indies side made full use of favourable conditions on Tuesday, producing a dominant all-round performance. Batting first, the West Indies under-19s piled up an imposing 346 for 6 from their allotted 50 overs. Opener Francis anchored the innings with a polished unbeaten 122, featuring 6 fours and 3 sixes. He was well supported by Apple, who blasted a rapid 124 from just 65 balls, striking 10 fours and 8 sixes. Joel Andrews also chipped in with 31. Kai Wall was the standout bowler for Japan, finishing with 2 wickets. Set a daunting target of 347 for victory, Japan never threatened the total and were dismissed for 117. Rajay Gittins led the bowling attack with figures of 4 for 48, while Jamaica's left-arm wrist spinner Vittel Laws claimed 3 for 28. Head coach Rowan Nurse praised the performance of Francis and Apple, noting their composure and intent at the crease.
It was very pleasing for the 2 youngest members of the team to show their ability, show their understanding and the growth, and to experience something that many persons would aspire to do, and to score a century at this level, be it in a warm-up game, is still very valuable for them and their development and confidence.
Nurse added that the team will use Wednesday's rest day to fine-tune preparation ahead of their opening World Cup fixture against Tanzania on Thursday.
Tomorrow is a rest day for the squad, and that's where the majority of planning and analysis will be done going into that first game. Lots of emphasis will be on recovery, hydration, given the fact that we would have pretty much had a full game today, and it's going to be very important that the guys start the tournament very well. That's one major focus, is that we do hit the ground running.
Nurse. Now, Bangladesh appears ready to withdraw from the 2026 ICC T20 World Cup set to bowl off in 25 days' time. The Bangladesh Cricket Board on Tuesday reaffirmed its decision not to play its 2026 T20 World Cup matches in India, citing security concerns. The reaffirmation came in a statement released shortly after a video conference with the sports governing body, the International Cricket Council. The tournament will be co-hosted by India and Sri Lanka starting February 7. Bangladesh are currently scheduled to play all their group matches in India, 3 at Eden Gardens, including their opener against West Indies on February 7. However, the ICC pointed to a recent security assessment that found no specific or heightened threat to the Bangladesh team in India, describing risk as low or moderate at some venues. The ICC has urged the BCB to reconsider. Tensions escalated after Bangladesh pacer Mustafizur Rahman was removed from Kolkata Knight Riders' IPL squad, followed by Bangladesh banning IPL broadcast. Talks between the BCB and ICC are set to continue. Now to football, as Arnott Gardens captain Fabian Reid has achieved a rare feat of completing a local football coaching license while still playing. The 34-year-old former Clarendon College star has successfully completed the JFF CD Diploma Coaching Certificate. The man affectionately called Parker Blacks says despite the start of his foray into formal coaching, his immediate mindset is to continue scoring as many goals in the time that he has left on the pitch.
So to be honest, I'm not really ready yet. I still have some going on me. You understand? As you can see, still around 90, still a scoring goal. You understand? Over the years. So it's nice to have the coaching license. Nice to do the transition from players to coaching. So, love it and love the aim that I'm going forward to. Over the years, I play and coach him. As you can see, every time the leadership always show up with the team and with me. You understand? As I said, leadership will come from me.
Reed banged in a pair of first-half goals on Monday night to steer the former champions to a comfortable 2-0 win over Harbourview to move 4 places up to 7th in the standings. Reed says he's using his veteran presence to help nurture the younger talents within the Onyx Gardens squad.
I have some teammates that I really want to shine right now, you understand, which is Chelsea and National and, other players there. So it's the future right now. So we just continue to guide them and, and work with them till we reach.
The lead in the Ray and Neville Jamaica Premier League could change hands on Wednesday as Racing United look to go back top of the standings. The St. Catherine-based outfit in second on 29 points will battle Treasure Beach at Jewsland, and victory would see them joining leaders Mobile United on 32 points. However, they would go top with a superior goal difference. Portmore United in third on 27 points will be home at Ferdinand Park to Spanish Town Police in St. Catherine Derby. Spanish champions Cavalier will travel to Draxall to face Mount Pleasant Academy. Dunbeholden and Mullins United clash at Dunbeholden Field, while Waterhouse will be away to Harbourview at Compound. All games are scheduled to start at 3 p.m. 2 more games will be played on Thursday, Tivoli at home to Mobile United and Onyx Gardens away to Chapelton Maroons. Manchester City beat Newcastle United 2-0 at St James Park on Tuesday in the first leg of their Carabao Cup semi-final. New signing Antoine Semenyo in the 53rd and Ryan Cherokee in the 90 plus 8 minutes got the goals for City.
Jeremy Doku, great ball across, and there is the owner. What a start to his Manchester City career for Antoine Semenyo. 2-2. It is the dream start for the Ghanaian, and City are heading the tide. Lovely touch there by Shirky, Aït-Nouri, and Shirky! A killer blow!
The teams meet again in the second leg in 2 weeks' time at the Etihad. League leaders Arsenal travel to Chelsea for the first leg of semi-final 2 on Wednesday. I'm Alex Raby, and that's your sport.
Need to make a change to your title or need a title? GeoLand Title Limited is the place to be. They do lost title application, add and remove names from titles, wills, estates, first-time registration, land surveys included, affordable rates and flexible payment options, National Land Agency adjudication and land titling waivers available. They have 8 locations island-wide. Call 876-754-6436 or visit their website at geolandonline.com. GeoLand Title Limited. Secure your land, secure your title.
Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
Informative, educational, insightful. Let's talk justice.
tackling topics like constitutional rights and reform, domestic violence, and rights issues that affect you. Let's Talk Justice every Mondays from 1 to 2 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Call in, share your thoughts, be empowered, know your rights, and let's talk justice, ensuring access to justice for all, courtesy of Jamaicans for Justice.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Good evening, and welcome to Public Opinion. I'm Roby Ann Williams. A special good evening to our friends over on our YouTube platform. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, we ask you to weigh in live in the comments section on today's Public Opinion. So we have heard news yesterday from the Jamaica Constabulary Force that it has now received 1,000 body-worn cameras. And these body-worn cameras, they were in an advanced state of procurement during the final quarter of 2025. If you've been listening to news, if you've been tuned into Nationwide 90 FM, well, you've heard civil society groups from all quarters, calling for more body-worn cameras for the police. In September 2025, Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake, he advised the country that the force was in the final stages of the acquisition. The JCF says since that time, and despite significant disruption caused by the devastation of Hurricane Melissa, the procurement process was successfully completed. So, in Public Opinion this evening, we're asking, what's your reaction to JCF acquiring 1,000 body-worn cameras? Let's see if I can go through the comments quickly. I'll start on our X platform where Keisha says good. Over to our Facebook platform, Philip Jackson. We all know that this was already in the making, but yet some people say otherwise. It's unfortunate Fitz made such a boo-boo of himself with half-truth. Know that the truth manifests itself. Ask Fitz the question, the same question again. That's coming from Philip Jackson. Truth intercepts lies. That's according to Philip Jackson. Michelle Bernard is saying that the JCF is moving up thanks to Dr. Chang. George Elliott, they should not be used until the crime rate is down to 0. Snap Twang, when police lives... Well, let's do that again. When police lives are in danger, they can't be busy fixing camera lens when they should be taking aim and taking cover. Well, Snap Twang, I believe the uniform or the camera will be equipped so it can clip on. I'm not sure. But I think I've seen a police personnel with a camera attached already. I remember seeing a camera attached to a policeman before. Let me see. Judith Thorpe says, yeah, they can use them when they're going on the road to do traffic checks. They should not burden down themselves with them to go and fight them other ones. As long as they are not killing innocent people, one cannot be living wrong and want right. Yeah. Nicola Nicholson, well done, Jamaican government. We are moving right along. Naysayers can stay behind. For Audrey Smith, what's your reaction to the JCF acquiring 1,000 body-worn cameras? Audrey Smith is saying, with all due respect, I'm not getting nothing. Oh, that's unrelated to the question. She's saying she's having some technical difficulties there. Down in Montego Bay. Carlington Bartley, public education is key to temper expectations. Each station will only get 5 cameras if you're going to deploy 1,000 cameras evenly to 190 stations. Patrick Gordon says that it is long overdue. Let them be used by frontline officers. The number does not match the force in any way. Is that what you're saying? They did say that there are others let me see if I can find what they said. Yeah, in that regard. Yes, the JCF adds that a further 1,000 body-worn cameras are now in train with the intention of completing acquisition and deployment during the next financial year. That's according to the JCF. And the JCF notes that it has been forthright about the challenges and limitations at each stage of the procurement process. Let me see if I can get to the comments on Instagram. Robert Gregory Lewis, it's a step in the right direction. Acquiring 1,000 body-worn cameras is a step in the right direction. Marshall says it will help a lot, and he believes that it is very good. To our YouTubers now, let me see what's happening. I hope they perform even better. Okay, that one is unrelated. Let me just refresh our YouTube. If you're just joining us, we're inside the court of public opinion. The question we're putting to you: what's your reaction to the JCF acquiring 1,000 body-worn cameras? Donovan Phillips on YouTube says, good job, Dr. Chang, Commissioner Blake, and the JLP government. It's from the previous PNP administration I'm hearing about body cameras. Now they're finally here. McHugh, this is a positive step for the police, accountability and transparency in Jamaica. Who am I is questioning, why do we need 8,000 body cameras, body-worn cameras? There are never 8,000 JCF officers on duty at any one time. We need to think smart. How 8,000 drop in? Let me see if I can get in a few more. I have something. What are you saying, Carleen Smith over there? Greetings to you. Don't be bullied, JCF. That's coming from Patrick Samuels, and he's saying police needs no camera. Let me see. Howard French say, okay, that's in relation to the jury. I prefer to put my trust in the people. That's also in relation to the jury aspect there. Great step. Carleen Smith says it's a great step for the JCF. Let me see. Spurtree. Then if the cops kill you in that sense, after they say drop your weapon multiple times, but you still charge at them, then every well-thinking citizen will see that the cop's in the right. Yeah. Beverly is saying to Commissioner Blake and Dr. Chang, don't watch the naysayers, just do the do. Let me see if I can get in a few more. Happy New Year to you, Becca Grant. Let me see. Very good move coming from Josephine. Who am I? Body-worn cameras for officers going on serious duties. Well, we were told, by the JCF that the cameras, the deployment is being guided by operational need, training, readiness, and established governance protocols. So there is a plan. Yeah? There's a plan of action the JCF is saying in that regard. Dale is saying that the JCF continues to go into the right direction. Big up Commissioner and the JCF. Ministers said they need 8,000 body cameras. Great job, Dr. Chang, coming from Jamaican for Life. The JLP for the body camera. Let's not be distracted with body cameras. Okay, Bertie believes it's a good move. Good move, JCF. And Delroy, great job. But what is Fitzjackson saying? No. Yeah. Let us see as it relates to the deployment of these cameras and the procurement of more. I mean, I find it fascinating at times when we see footage coming out internationally, of course. We see footage coming out in news. They have it on social media. Footage coming out from an incident that took place involving a police. I find it fascinating. Let's see how we will progress in this regard. Thank you guys so much for participating in Public Opinion. The Business Report is up next.
Public Opinion was brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, industrial automation and control solutions.
Drive the most exciting new vehicles in Jamaica. Schedule your 2024 Ford Ranger pickup or Ford Everest 7-seater SUV test drive now. Call or visit KIG today.
The time by KIG is
6:32. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Nationwide's Business Report. I'm Robeanne Williams. Improvements to a number of Apple services, including a more personalized version of its virtual assistant, Siri, are to be powered with AI provided by Google. The tech giants have announced a multi-year collaboration which will see the iPhone maker base some of its key tech on Google's Gemini AI models. In a joint statement, the two firms said the partnership would unlock innovative new experiences for Apple users. But experts say it demonstrates how Apple's cautious approach to building and rolling out its own AI tools has left it reliant on other companies. Central banks across the world have joined together to declare that they stand in full solidarity with the Federal Reserve's chair after the U.S. launched a criminal investigation into Jerome Powell. The heads of the Bank of England, the European Central Bank, and the Bank of Canada are among 11 senior bankers who have signed a statement highlighting the importance of independence in setting interest rates. Chair Powell has served with integrity, focused on his mandate and an unwavering commitment to the public interest, they said. The Department of Justice is conducting the probe. President Donald Trump has said he did not know anything about the investigation. And finally, in the currency markets, at the close of trading today, it cost 158 Jamaican dollars and 56 cents to buy $1 US, 211 Jamaican dollars and 6 cents to buy 1 British pound, and 113 Jamaican dollars and 97 cents to buy the Canadian dollar. That's the Business Report. I'm Robeanne Williams. Good evening.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210, or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care.
How certain are you that you're taking proper care of your pets? How often do you take them to the vet? Just as we need annual checkups with our doctors, most pets need regular checkups too. Owning and caring for a family pet doesn't have to be a difficult or burdensome experience. Nationwide 90 FM has an exciting feature called Pets World that will help you take better care of your pets. Join Nationwide 90 FM every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning as we take you into the do's and don'ts of caring for your pets. That's Pets World every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
What's everyone talking about? It's Front Page in This Morning. Get the issue of the day this and every weekday morning at 7:20 a.m. on Front Page. This Morning. Morning radio the right way. Front Page is brought to you by ABC Electrical for a better choice in the electrical business.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, "By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path." Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis, weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
As a parent, you give your children a good start in life. You nurture, protect, and guide them. Parenting is a process that prepares your child for independence. As your child grows and develops, there are many things you can do to help your child. Stay tuned to The Big Show, nationwide this morning, for parenting tips. Fridays at 6:53 a.m. Only here will you learn everything you need to know about parenting. Tips to help parents navigate the incredibly challenging and rewarding journey of child rearing. Parenting tips on Nationwide at 90 FM, the revolution in media.
Not a mercy. This one is very classic, dedicated to all the schoolers who are taking them.
If you've ever struggled to pass an exam, then you'll know that students today are under great pressure to get good grades and secure qualification needed to move on to higher education. The problem is that too many students are struggling alone and could really benefit from connecting with hardworking teachers and other bright students in other parts of the country and the region. Join me, Dennis Brooks, this and every Friday evening from 8 to 9, with a repeat on Saturday morning from 8 to 9. For the A-Team, a study group on radio, my team of teachers, students, and experts will break down the syllabus, giving you information, tips, and past paper questions that will help you get top grades in your upcoming exams. Follow us on Facebook Live and on Twitter and be a part of the community. It's the A-Team. Fridays at 8 p.m. with a repeat at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. It's your free extra class on radio and social media. And it's right here on Nationwide 90 FM, the revolution in media.
It's the weekend and the youth are taking over the airwaves. Yes, we are the new voices and faces of the Talk Up You radio show. The voice of the Jamaican youth right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
After a busy week of work and school, come and wine with Jamaica's #1 youth radio show.
We're bringing you entertainment, fun facts, and staying true to youth development and advocacy.
Catch the action each and every Saturday as we roll out buzzy segments. What say you?
Youth for chat.
Life skills.
Global Connect.
And Bust the Youth.
That's the Talk Up Youth radio show. Saturdays 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM.
Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie.
Talk Up Youth. Don't miss it.
If it's in the public's interest, it's the nation's business during Nationwide at 5. The nation's business.
Everything loud and wicked every Saturday 3 to 5 p.m. with Outside with Pepita. Loan vibes, loan laughs, and loan entertainment. Come on the road with me. Cause when we say Outside with Pepita, we're there all over Jamaica. Anyway, check them out. We're there. We're in on the business. Stay tuned in for prizes, surprises, giveaways, guest artists, and enough more. But hold on there. We forget to big up my DJ. DJ Jerome, the Shell Boss, I'm gonna make it bust to pew pew with the maddest, baddest, and latest tunes. So look out for Outside with Pepita. We might be coming to a town near you. You heard it here first. Outside with Pepita, Saturdays 3 to 5 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. The new revolution in media. Jamaica, lock it in and don't miss a thing.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, "By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path." Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis, weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much for staying with us. And if you're just joining us, hello. This is Nationwide at 5. It's time for the nation's business. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
I'm Cliff Hughes.
Now, the owner of the controversial vending machine seen selling KFC, Popeyes, and other fast food options is seeking to clear his name. This after restaurants sought to distance themselves from his venture. Restaurants Associates Limited, operators of Popeyes, and Restaurants of Jamaica, who operates KFC, posted statements to their respective Instagram accounts last week informing customers that the machine was not operated, endorsed, or affiliated with either company.
Restaurants Associates, in their statement, went further to say products sold through the machine are not authorized and prepared or distributed under their quality or food safety standards. Restaurants Associates also sought to encourage the public to buy products only through authorized locations. Videos of the video machine reportedly located at a shopping center in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, went viral on TikTok recently.
The machine, which carries branding Zoops, also bears labels featuring KFC, Popeyes, Burger King, Island Grill, Pizza Hut, and Quick Chick.
Here is a video from a TikTok user who visited and bought products from the machine.
Food vending machine right here in Jamaica, located in the heart of Spanish Town, the same plaza that you can find high-low right across from JPS, right beside the clock. Saw it on the internet, wondering if it was true, so I had to go and check it out myself. And if you hear it from me, you know it's true. You don't have to worry about understanding the machine, especially if you can't read. There are 2 support agents that are there to assist you to place your order, warm your meals, and give you your change. So yeah, you don't have to worry about if you have the right amount of money, blah blah, black sheep. No, I thought it was only KFC, but to my surprise, they had Popeyes too. And if you look on the logos on the vending machine, you'll see that it's an entire fast food chain. So several restaurants will be on board. Nothing is perfect, so while the KFC order went perfectly fine, the Popeyes first order, the wall of the box mash up, me dear. Outside of that, the process was okay. You get drinks as well. $13.50 for the 2-piece KFC, $14.00 for a 2-piece Popeyes. I cannot eat KFC when it's reheated, so for me, it's not something I'd have again. Then I didn't like that overnight look on the chicken. 6 out of 10 for me. Would you try it?
Wow. Well, we have the operator of Zoops Food ATM, Milton Ray. Good evening.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Before we even get into it, Cliff, I want to say right off the bat that I want to commend Nationwide Radio, because some of these entities are major advertisers. Some of them are the biggest advertisers in Jamaica. And I know that the editorial department is not always insulated from the advertising department. So congrats, Nationwide, for even entertaining this interview this evening.
Well, we are in pursuit of the news and the issue, okay? Because a number of issues arise from your venture, yes? First of all, Zoops Food ATM, yeah? Tell me, what's the thinking? How was it inspired? Where you intend to go with it?
All right, so Cliff, I have a young son, and he really loved fast food. And so I used to have to take him to these fast food restaurants regularly. And I must tell you, the experience was miserable, very miserable. It was almost like torturing yourself, Cliff. And I thought about it, and I said there must be a better way to do this in this technologically advanced age. We can't find a better way to see people access these meals easier, more hassle-free, and so on. And so I started to do research. Another son of mine had the idea to go into the vending machine business, but that was the regular vending machine business, the snacks and drinks and so on. And so both things combined in my head and clicked. Mm-hmm. And I said, that is the solution. And so I started to pursue it. In pursuing it, Cliff, one of the first things I did when I got the idea was I have a couple of lawyer friends. And I call them and run the idea by them. Because I want to know, I want to know me do something legitimate. I want to know me not break the law. And when I ran it by them, they looked into it and them tell me, say, I won't be breaking any laws. They don't see anything wrong with it. That one lawyer went as far as explained to me that it's the same as going to Juicy Beef or Tasty and buying patties that a lot of people do, and go back and put them in a warmer and sell. And I say, well, I went and did my own research now because I love the law. I love to research law. I just love the law. I never love the law. So I went and I did my own research and discovered that the Jamaican law actually allows for it. It is actually in the Jamaican law. And so I said, all right, I am on the right track.
Which law allows it?
It's the Food Handling Act. It is under the regulations. And it is Regulation 16. Regulation 16, 3, 4, and 5.
But
right there.
But I understand the police ordered you to shut down business last week. Did they tell you on what grounds?
Yes, Cliff. That is very mysterious.
Ricardo.
That's Ricardo.
Oh, that's Ricardo. Okay. Ricardo. Up to this point, I am completely flabbergasted because I don't know what the police was investigating. Them run in, them come first of all, them say, I'm not registered. When I show them that I was registered, they say the registration don't have on it that I am authorized to sell these brands, and that has to be on the registration. Now, you and I know that that could not be on a registration certificate or any registration document. Okay. I pointed that out to them, and they were insisting that I'm not allowed to do what I'm doing. They say I have to get permission from these brands. Now, I did my thorough research and knew that there was no such requirement that I get any permission from these brands. And then they went on to talk about food handlers permit. The young lady who was responsible for loading the machines went and applied for her food handler's permit, and the thing is in train. And the health department allows you to work with the receipt. I pointed out this to the police, and they came all the way from Constant Spring, They came from, I'm in Spanish Town. They came from the operations unit in Constant Spring. I don't know how this became a police matter. Only God, he knows what they were investigating. I didn't steal the meals. And we never see from Popeyes or KFC, we went and purchased them legitimately. Right? So now they came with this food handlers thing. I said to them, listen, the health department allows you to work with the receipt until they get the actual food handlers permit. The policeman, the gentleman, Sergeant Simpson from up there said, no, nothing can go so. You can't apply for a driver's license and go drive same time. Nothing can go so. And so the following morning I went to the health department myself to inquire. And lo and behold, I was told by the health department that yes, you can work with the receipt.
All right,
they're trying to seize my equipment. They say I have to stop. No. I have to shut down because they say if I didn't shut down, they were going to seize my equipment.
So you're not now operating?
I'm not now operating, but it is not because of that. It's because of a few kinks that we have to work out. Because I'm sure that the police has no legal grounds to stop me from operating.
Let me ask you, quality control. So I'm assuming you go to KFC or Burger King or Popeyes in Spanish Town, you buy in bulk, and then you transport to the machine?
Yes.
And how do you assure people who are buying from your machine that the top quality that the brands try to enforce within their confined stores is maintained as you transport to your machine?
Well, I will say this to you. We operate no differently. Well, we do operate differently because we operate better than the regular delivery services that are all around. In fact, our thing is safer than the regular delivery service because when those guys go and pick up the meal sits there for a while, they pick it up, they pick up 3, 4, 5 meals, and they ride around to different places. Time a go, time a pass. The bacteria build up on the food them. By the time them ride to 3, 4, 5, 6 places, the food full of bacteria.
But aren't you just reheating? Because I heard in the video the young lady said that it is essentially hot up KFC.
Well, she said a number of things that are inaccurate. For example, she said it's overnight food. We don't keep anything overnight. We restock every 2, 3, 4 hours. In terms of the quality.
Right. So hold on, Mr. Ray. Hold on then. Hold on there. You hold on before you get there. So if you're restocking every 3, 4 hours, I mean, conceivably just like the delivery man we have to wait 1 hour, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours. You know the same thing?
No, sir. You're very incorrect.
Tell me why.
Our equipment is built to preserve the meals at the required ambient temperatures. And if you look at the law,
this is the Zoop ATM.
Yes. If you look at the law itself tells you at what temperature cooked meals should be maintained at. And our equipment surpasses the requirement. And so when we take the meal to our equipment, the equipment begins to preserve the meal immediately and can keep it for up to 6 months fresh.
All right, watch me now, Mr. Ray. So somebody, let me say I take Cliff over there tomorrow, right? And I buy him a 2-piece, and him belly start to run. Yeah, just a run. Who does he hold accountable or responsible for that?
Who did he buy it from?
He buy it from you. Zoops Food ATM.
So that must mean who accountable.
So you are taking on that liability is what you're saying.
Of course.
And how do your
hold on. If the fault is Ben, the fault, whatever happened, and the fault can be traced and it can be traced back to
but hold on now.
Then they are now liable to me. I am liable to the person who gets it from me.
But Mr. Ray,
I get the meal from KFC.
But Mr. Ray, isn't that a dangerous chain? How you going to know? How you going to trace that back?
Come on.
Tell me.
Are you being ridiculous?
No, I am not being ridiculous. You tell me.
That happens in Jamaica every day.
You're not answering the question though, Mr. Ray.
What is the question?
How do you establish that liability?
What liability? I'm not understanding the question.
All right, I'll repeat it. I'll repeat the question. So I'll repeat it. We buy from the machine. Somebody gets ill. You said that you would take on the liability. And then you said if you could trace whatever it is back to the source, then they would be liable to you. And I'm saying, how do you do that tracing? How would you?
Then suppose it's something that was done at the restaurant, sir.
Then I'm saying, how do you establish
that?
How do you establish that?
There are ways and means, man. But that is besides the point.
I think that is entirely the point.
Hold on. We are guided by laws.
Because
give me a chance.
Question and you must allow me to answer.
Go ahead, Mr.
We are ruled by laws. I said to you, the law allows, the Public Health Act allows for it. That is indisputable. Are you saying you are more an expert than the persons who consultations and drafting?
I don't think your attacks on me are helping you at all. Let me explain. If I walk into KFC and I walk out, there's no middleman. I know exactly where I got it from. I know exactly the chain of custody, all of that. And I'm asking you to tell my listeners how you would then establish that whatever happened at the restaurant and not during your delivery or transportation process. That's what I'm asking you.
All right, let me answer you like this. If you go to one of these persons who are selling tasty patties on the road,
I'd rather you not answer me with a question. I'd rather you not answer me with a question.
But it's the same thing. It's a principle. It's the same principle. Persons go to Price Mart and buy the Price Mart cakes and sell them back in their establishments every day. If you go there and buy the Price Mart cake and your belly start run, what happens? What I'm saying is this is a normal course of business. There's nothing unique about what I'm doing. It's a normal course of business. It's trading. It's what people do every day all over the world. What is different? You tell me what is different. If you go to the pan chicken man on the roadside who is not even regulated, the pan chicken man on the roadside don't even have bathroom facilities. But we buy from them every day. And I'm saying that my equipment adheres to the law. The law allows for it. There are no risks involved. In fact, my meals are safer than the meals that you buy at KFC and Popeyes. Reason being that KFC and Popeyes have no equipment to preserve, maintain, or store cooked meals. I have that equipment to preserve, maintain, and store cooked meals for up to 6 months. So these questions that you're coming with, they're a little ingenious, if you ask me.
Why, thank you.
Because this is what happens throughout Jamaica and the world. There's DoorDash, Uber Eats, all kind of things that come and deliver meals to people. The same thing, I'm operating as a delivery business. I have just found a vehicle that is able to deliver in volumes. That's all. And the police has no business running in for me. Popeyes has no business putting out these notices, or KFC, and I'm going to file a lawsuit against them because they have damaged my business by saying that the meals are not, Popeyes said the meals are not prepared under their standards and their quality. When they prepare the meals, they are giving the impression that something might be wrong with my meals. You can't do that. That has damaged my business. Not only has it damaged my business, but our model is a business in business model. We're not going to operate standalone locations. And now what that has done now, it has created some amount of controversy, so that businesses that we approach to partner with might not want to partner with us because they're going to say, boy, you think shady. That is what this has communicated to the public, that we are shady, that we are doing something wrong, something illegitimate. And if KFC or Popeyes try to stop me from doing what I'm doing, they would be creating an offense. It would be an offense under the Fair Competition Act.
Have anyone
try to stop me?
Mr. Ray, have any one of the different brands, as in KFC or Popeyes or whatever, formally written to you asking you to cease and desist?
No, they have not. And they have no legal grounds on which to do that. If they do that, they would be running afoul of the law. No entity in Jamaica can insist that it alone should trade in any commodity in Jamaica. That would be unlawful.
So what have they done?
Act.
What have they done? They haven't written to you formally. What have they done?
What has happened is the notice that they have posted and the police that visited me.
Oh,
those are the two incidents.
Okay, they posted the notice where? In the papers or what?
They posted the notices on some social media site, I understand. But then the papers run with it too. Them beat up the Observer and the Star too, because the Observer and the Star could be in problem with me right now too. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
I didn't do this thing willy-nilly off the top of my head, Cliff. I did meticulous research. Anything then come with, may have it covered. The first thing I consulted was the law. Lo and behold, the Food Handling Act from 1998 has it in there. Go and look at it yourself. It's right there. And from the law allow it. They're good.
I think the issue they are grappling with, and people are asking, what are you doing? These are well-known, prominent brands. What are you doing? What you're essentially doing, you've become a retailer, yes, of their brands. You go and you buy, 50 pounds of chicken or 52 pieces, and then you come back and you sell it. That's what you're doing, essentially.
Yes. All right, Cliff.
Yes.
Toyota Jamaica is the authorized dealer for Toyota in Jamaica. Can I go and buy some Toyota cars and sell it back without getting the permission of Toyota Jamaica? And if I do that, and Toyota Jamaica should attempt to stop me, Toyota Jamaica would be committing an offense under the Fair Competition Act. Nobody has a monopoly on any commodity whatsoever. This is a free market economy. Persons are free to buy and sell any commodity. And in fact, that is what the Fair Competition Act encourages.
Why not? Okay, why not then go, you buy 100 pieces of KFC chicken and come back and sell the chicken without branding it KFC?
That would be unlawful.
That would be unlawful?
And then someone are running a problem though. Because me I mess with them product though. We can't do that.
No. How would you be messing with the product? You buy 100.
Let me hear what you're thinking.
Because people are very protective of their brand. Yes, I can see that.
Every product is branded.
Yes.
When you go into a supermarket, all the
yes,
products in
and
there are
people
branded.
spend a lot. Hold on, Milton.
Right.
Hold on, Milton. Hold on. Just talk.
Yes, go
Let
ahead,
me talk.
go ahead, go ahead.
People spend millions of dollars, yes, to build brands. It's an asset. Yeah, a very valuable asset. Okay? You agree?
I agree.
Good. So I'm saying...
So is every brand. So are most brands.
Not all brands are as valuable as a KFC brand. Right? But the point...
I don't think KFC is more valuable than Nike.
No. You know what I mean. I'm saying KFC...
Can I go and buy a Nike shoes and sell it back?
We're out of time. But the point I'm making, to avoid all of this kerfuffle, what is to stop you from buying 200 pieces of KFC every time and you go and you call that Zoops?
That would be fraudulent, Cliff. Come on. You know better than that, Cliff.
It would be?
That would be
Is it
fraudulent.
any different from some of these big companies say, okay, Ricardo is going to do sausage, and we're going to buy from Ricardo under these terms and conditions, and we put our label on it? And you see, you go in the supermarket and you buy different brands for the same sausage.
You're brighter than this. You're smarter than this, Cliff.
Mm.
That is misrepresentation.
Oh, I see.
No, that is what would be that would be criminal. That would be criminal.
I think what Mr. Reyes...
That would be like some people who bring some things from foreign where Avivas and put Adidas on it or vice versa. No, man, you can't do that.
Would you...
We can't mess with the people and things.
Finally...
What reason would I have to do that?
Finally, Mr. Ray, because you're out of time.
Yes, sir.
Would you accept that your entire business model is predicated and it rests on the strength of the brands KFC, Popeyes, Little Caesars? Would you accept that?
All the supermarkets, the clothing stores, etc. They're most of their business models rest on the strength of the brands that they sell. What is different? What is unique? What's the point?
Are you answering the question? Are you answering the question that yes, it
I'm
rests on
answering
it?
the question.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. We're out of time, Mr. Ray. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. 6 minutes after 7, we take the break and come back with Nature's Remedies.
On October 28, 2025, Hurricane Melissa devastated Jamaica. But your government is mobilizing, reaching every community, delivering relief, and rebuilding together. The time by the Office of the Prime Minister is...
It's 7 minutes after 7.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210, or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care.
Every day, Jamaicans have something to say. In the group chats, on social media, in the streets, there's a place where it all comes together. The comment section. This This is not a lecture. This is not a call-in show. This is the hottest topics of the day, filtered through real opinions, real WhatsApp messages, real voice notes, real reactions. You agree, disagree, sound off, text it, voice note it, debate it. Comments section, Monday to Friday from 7 to 7:30 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
Cliff Says is by far the most popular mid-morning radio segment in Jamaica. Cliff Hughes shares his views on the hot-button topics of the day, editorializing on various issues in the news, breaking news stories, and expounding on stories. Cliff Says sets the tone of the show for the rest of the day. Join the award-winning journalist Cliff Hughes weekdays during Cliff Hughes Online at 10 to 10:30 a.m. Join the revolution in media.
Good God of mercy, hey. Good God of grace, hey. Lord of mercy, hey. Spurlina build up me confidence. Rastafari run the continent.
It's 9 minutes after 7. Welcome to this week's episode of Nature's Remedies. This is a program to make you aware of the uses of natural herbs. Tonight we'll be talking about the senna plants for detox and skin issues. As usual, we'll be opening the lines so you can call in with any question you might have for our resident pharmacognosist, Dr. Denise Daly. Good evening, Dr. Daly.
Good evening, Doc. Happy New Year.
Good evening, and good evening, listeners. Happy New Year. It's a pleasure being here.
Good.
And we made it.
Yeah, to 2026. So tell
yes,
me,
we did.
Is it senna plant or the senna plant? How is it pronounced?
Senna.
Senna. The senna plant.
Senna.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
I don't know what that is.
I've never heard of that.
Let me look it up.
Go ahead, Dr.
Yes,
Daly.
when you look it up, you're going to realize that it's a very familiar plant that we see right across Jamaica. It has compound leaves. Those are leaves. If you remember how a neem tree looks or June plum tree, where they have
this
little tiny leaves and a yellow bush flowers that looks like a candle.
But hold on,
That
Doc.
is the
Let me think a wild bush this. This man roadside.
Listen, that is it. A lot of our wild bush are medicinal plants, and that's why we are blessed with so many endemics, because it's all over the island for our use.
All right, so
it is.
Okay, what are the uses?
So this plant, the senna, it is also called king of the forest, because again, you can find it right across the island, and you see those yellow candlestick. It's also called candle bush or ringworm bush.
Okay.
The candle bush because of how it's the flowers, the inflorescence, and the ringworm bush because of its use. So it's one of the plants that for fungal infections, when it comes to the skin, it is excellent. You can create like a bath, like boil the plant, boil or cause an infusion, hot water, and bathe in it, wash the area. You can also crush the plant, including the flowers, and create a poultice. So you get your mortar or whichever container, you crush the leaves and the flowers, and you apply it to the ringworm area or the fungal infection, whether it's liver spots or anything like that. You apply it to the area and renew it every couple of hours. Like one in the morning, you take it off, clean the area, and you apply it again in the afternoon. So it's an excellent herb that is used as for fungal infections.
I see where on Google it says it's a stimulant laxative as well.
Yes, and that brings us to its use as a detox or washout, as we call it in Jamaica. So senna is one of the teas that growing up our grandparents would have given us to go back to school. Because of that stimulant laxative effect that it has. Now, what causes it to have that laxative effect is the compounds in it, and these compounds are only found within these species. They're called senosides, and they have different variations, A and B. And what our body does when we drink the senna tea, these senosides are converted to reed anthronine, another type of compound that our body that gives us that laxative effect. So it flushes out the colon, the digestive tract, and therefore we feel lighter, we feel at ease, and we feel some amount of cleansing, so to speak, happening. So that's how our senna plant help us. And growing up, you know, they always say try to do washout like Friday evening or Saturday when you're not going on the road, because you will need to go to the bathroom.
Yes. And the side effects?
The side effects with the senna, it is a laxative. It has diuretic effects, so it can cause excessive urination as well, because it's getting rid of compounds in the body and allowing you to get rid of these compounds via urine or by egestion, going to the washroom. So if you have severe dehydration, try not to drink the senna tea. If you have abdominal pains that you can't explain, then it's not the time to have the tea. You need to then focus on that aspect before you drink the senna tea, because you may be flushing out too much liquid or water from the system, so you're giving excess work to the abdomen. Pregnant, avoid the senna tea as well, and those are some of the common things we say. Again, never take it with medication, always separate from your medication.
So what are some of the other uses? So apart from
go ahead. Apart from laxative?
Yeah, and I was saying and taking it as a tea. Is there any other way?
Yes, topically. And apart from laxative, so we spoke about the leaves. There's also the seed and the pods. They are also medicinal, and they are also used for detox, so to speak. It's great for liver. So the seeds, they'll roast the seeds, and it's like a coffee substitute, similar to how dandelion is had. Also, they'll have it as a coffee substitute as well. Other ways in which you can have it, if you create a tincture, you soak it in rum, and you can have little bits of it in water or in a drink throughout the day, or once per day throughout the week, etc. So you can always create a tincture. If you're doing the topical, you can get the different parts of the plant, the seed, the leaves, and soak it in some coconut oil or olive oil, whichever oil blend you want to do. Heat it, get the color change in the oil, add some beeswax or whichever wax you'd want to add, and create like a balm, a skin balm for whatever ailment. It's similar to making your own Whitfield ointment. And of course, you can add different herbs that are great as antifungal. For example, neem. So senna and neem, and you make that in a oil infusion and harden it with a little beeswax or whichever wax you'd want to add. Then you can have a nice antifungal ointment to add to anything that's happening on the system, on the skin surface as well. So there are quite of various uses.
And this king of the forest, I mean, is it confined to any particular part of the island, or we can find it everywhere?
You can find it everywhere, and it's easy to identify, because when you look across our topography, when you look across the trees, etc., you see that yellow plant, the yellow flowers sticking out. Now, oftentimes people will mix it up with flame of the forest. That's another tree that's much bigger, and it has bright orange, large flowers that you can see for miles. So king of the forest is senna.
Yes.
Smaller plant with yellow candlestick-like bushes or inflorescence, flowers. And that's how you can help to identify the senna.
Yeah.
Okay. So can we use, you talked about it as a laxative. So can I think about it as a part of the detox regimen?
Yes, you can. And that's some of the things we want to talk about when we talk about detox. Because Christmas come, we eat a lot of food, we have a lot of junk food, etc. Now, January, we have our New Year resolution. We want to go on a weight loss plan. People are now looking at what are alternatives. Now, senna is good as it activates some of our liver enzymes. And it helps with the laxative effect, flushing the digestive system and so on. So what are some of the clues when it comes to detox or claims that we should really look out for? There's so many things happening on the internet, but again, does it have scientific basis? And what are some of the traditional ways we can really help our body to detox, which is done naturally?
And in doing the detox, So let's say I use the Senna tea, because they say you drink a detox tea, then it cleanses you or flushes your body of toxins. True?
For detox teas, the herb itself doesn't carry out the detox. The liver naturally detoxes our body. So we have that built in. So what the herb does, it acts as a laxative to flush anything that's stuck or remaining in our system, is like a flush, or as a diuretic. So that's why we urinate a lot. So we get rid of that excess water. Now, removing the excess water, removing the stool, that is just part of our natural digestion and cleaning the system. So it's not necessarily a detox, but we use it loosely as a detox tea because of that flush that it causes the body. So herbs that are considered detoxification herbs, they really have phytochemicals or compounds that stimulate our detox enzymes to work more efficiently. So that's how they'll work.
Okay. And
so basically help your body work better, so to speak.
And as we say, new year, new me. So,
Yes.
we do a detox after Christmas. Is it necessary to detox after overeating in the holidays? Do we have to do it?
Yes.
No.
No,
Not
that's
necessarily.
a no.
You don't
All right, there you
have
go.
to do a detox.
Yeah.
And this is why. Our body is naturally following up with you. So if our body needs one piece of KFC or one piece of chicken, and we buy the 6-piece, our body is going to be dealing with that 6-piece right away. So that overeating, the liver works continuously to get rid of the excess. So it's going to store it.
So like Cliff will eat half of the ham over Christmas. You're saying that
Our
one
body's going to store it.
Well, that's good for you then.
And get,
I
so it's
don't
gonna
deny
store
that,
it
you know.
and-
Me know you can't deny it because
don't
that's true.
deny it.
So once the body gets more than it usually gets of one thing, it starts to do what it needs to.
Yes, it stores it. So it's always detoxing, but it stores the excess food that we consume, and then that's when we see the weight gain. It stores that glycogen, then it stores it that fat, and if we continue overeating, it continues to store, and it's like, you know what, we're getting a lot of food, maybe famine is coming, let's store it. So it keeps storing it. And then
why you trying to wear that, Ricardo?
She's not.
Well, that just sharing how the body works.
Yeah.
And if we don't start using these
the
stores,
energy,
it
right.
stays with us.
Gotcha.
Now, when it comes to the toxin part, our body doesn't store the toxin from overeating, so it does its natural routine. But as soon as we say, you know what, let's resume, let's start eating a balanced diet, vegetable, protein, enough water, then our body starts using the excess that we've stored, especially when we start doing our movements. So if we overeat, we'll be storing it.
The juice cleanse is detox. They say that it detoxes the liver, and that liquid only diets give the digestive system a rest. True?
That's a lot of information on the internet that they say do juicing. No, juicing is good.
And the green juice.
In that you can, and the green juice and the red and so on.
Right.
Juicing is good. You can add it to your routine, but you must ensure that you're having a balanced meal as well. Because in order for the liver to detox, those enzymes that work, they need protein to work. They need vitamins and minerals. Now, the juices are providing vitamins and minerals, but if you don't eat any protein for the day, then your liver is not carrying out an effective detox process. It's going to be using stored protein if you're doing an extensive juicing regime without protein. So protein is needed for a proper detoxification within the liver. So I would say a nice vegetable rich soup that has beans or whichever meat you want, that's a good detox meal. If you're doing juices, make sure you have some cheese or protein or hummus, something. Or if you want to have the whey powder in the juices, that also helps to ensure that the liver works effectively.
And
Alright.
if I'm detoxing and I'm losing weight rapidly, does that mean, toxins are going?
Not necessarily. The weight loss is due to you losing water and using up some of the glycogen that you stored before, not the fat. In order to get rid of fat, we have to burn it. We have to exercise, we have to do movement, and you have to restrict your diet or have a diet that is balanced to sustain fat loss.
So would you say that
And sleep.
Sleep.
And sleep.
Very
Sorry,
important.
we can't leave out sleep. Sleep is important for fat loss. So ensure that we're getting enough sleep.
Would you say then that the Senna can be considered a suitable, well, I think you said it, a suitable detox plant?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. It's a plant that helps to stimulate that laxative effect. It helps to stimulate the liver in carrying out its detox. And you just have to be mindful, make sure you're hydrated, because you will be passing waste from both directions.
And how often would we have it? Like once a day, twice a day? The tea?
Well, you really just need it once a month or once every 1 to 2 months. You can have your regular herbal teas in between that, but just have that cleanse. If you have it at 1 week, then you drink the tea. If you don't feel any change, you can have it again. And feel any change, meaning if you haven't gone to the washroom, you can have another cup of the tea, which is 1 teaspoon in a cup of water. That's a good amount to have at one drink, so to speak. And yeah, allow the body to naturally detox.
Okay. All right. Did we ask you how we can incorporate the Senna into your diet safely? Can you tell that one?
Yes, safely is as a tea. That's one of the most convenient ways you can have it. They're also available as tea bags or tablets or capsules or powders that you can add it to smoothies if you want as well. But the best way to have that liquid, because it does cause dehydration, so teas are good to have it as first thing in the morning or the last thing at night, so your body gets time to go through the digestive, and then you get to go to the washroom. So make sure you clear the schedule and you are available to allow the body to work.
Okay, Doc. Yeah. Thank you very much, Doc. Pharmacognocist,
You're most welcome.
Dr. Denise Daly. We spoke about the Senna plant this evening. All right. Thank you very much, Doc.
Thank you and have a good night.
You too. After the break, your calls.
630-937-124, 618-6730.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210, or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care.
Against all odds, coming soon to Nationwide 90 FM. Join us as we relive compelling sports stories about the agony of defeat.
I don't blame anyone. As I said, I'm the captain of the Australian team. It's on my watch and I take responsibility.
The jubilation of success.
I've dedicated all my life to being the best and to being the best track and field person I can possibly be. Trying to be a legend, trying to be the greatest, trying to be unstoppable.
And the roller coaster ride that sports carries.
I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart.
Against all odds, coming soon to Nationwide 90 FM.
Minutes after 7, time for your calls now. 876-630-937124 or 876-618-6730. Is that it? 6730. Yeah. Papa Nana, good evening.
Mr. Hughes, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Let me tell you something. I can't give you and all the praise. I have to give all the other people them, because I know that in making a anything that is successful, it needs planning, and I don't think one people could have done it.
Mm-hmm.
But let me explain something to you. Did you know that I thought of this new thing that you're going to have now, what they call it, the arbitrary where you announce?
The passing. Yes.
Right. Mr. Hughes, you know, is last week, me and some people down here were talking about it.
Yeah?
Yes. That, and get and tell me what we were talking about it. You know, disabled people like us who we can sit to read and think. But we can hear.
Yes.
And that you understand. So, you are catering to people like we.
Yes.
And I must congratulate you people. I think it is a very, very good idea, Mr. Hughes. You have a car to sell. You have a house to rent. You want a house to rent or something. I think it is very, 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 very wonderful, sir.
Yes. Good.
Yes.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yes.
I'm really happy to hear that. Yeah?
Believe me, I am telling you, Mr. Hughes, great men, boy, I'm telling you.
And it's going to be very affordable ways of advertising, eh? Yeah, it's going to be very affordable. So you have a family member who has passed, yeah? You can get it announced on Nationwide 3 times a day and very, very reasonable prices.
Well, isn't that wonderful? Mr. Hughes, I am telling you that Nationwide is poised for greatness. I can tell. And you know why I have so many confidence in Nationwide? It is built on a solid rock. I am telling you the honest truth. It is built on a solid rock, I am telling you. And my next question, where you get some picnic from Ireland or something today?
Oh, they came in from Dunrobin Primary. Oh, yes.
You want to notify or they just popped in on you?
No, they told us, man. No, they told us. They gave us notice. But what we didn't expect is it was about 110 of them, you know. And my God, it was a challenge. It was a challenge.
Mr. Hughes,
yes.
A teacher called me. I won't call his name because you know it. He said, if we see that the teachers and the garbage collectors should get the best paid. Because him say, boy, you show the quality in you today. Oh, you control them.
Well, I don't know if I did, you know. I tried, but I don't know if I did.
No, but you know, you're one of the little child, what him said to you, when you ask if he's a good prefect, and he said, no, he's not good because he don't allow them to go drink water.
Yes. Did you see them, Ricardo?
Yeah, they came into the newsroom.
Oh, dear.
I tell you, Mr. Hughes, I must tell you. And the last thing, what I would like to find out, sir, like all the police get a certain amount of camera now, what encouragement would the people who is advocating for the cameras and always on the side of, well, I wouldn't say always, but they always talk about the person who the police had killed. What advice would they give to the criminals them now?
The same advice that they have given them over the years. Turn themselves in. Do not take on the police.
Oh, because look at what happened to the one that they call Bloodstain.
Oh,
he
yes.
didn't resist.
Yes.
And he was taken in to have this day in court.
Yes.
Right. So if it is done like that, a lot of people who believe that they are losing money. I mean, this is very good. That to show you that if they don't endanger the policeman's life, their life will not be endangered.
Yes, yes.
And then the last thing, what happened to Miss Kitty? What? He can't call you again?
What do you mean?
I don't hear her again. I don't hear her. And I don't hear the former DPP, and I don't hear Miss Anderson, Mr. Seaga's sister. I don't hear those persons again.
Well, Mr. Seaga's sister, Gina Anderson, is no longer living in Jamaica. She lives in the Cayman Islands now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I know that she listens to the program. She does. Yeah.
And Miss Kitty is all right now?
As far as I know, Kitty's fine. She's a mother. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes, Miss Kitty has a big baby girl.
What? That's nice, man. Congrats, Miss Kitty. Congrats.
And she's enjoying motherhood.
That's good, man. God bless you again, Mr. Hughes, and big up to Ricardo. He has given me a question that I asked him to research for me. Boy, I tell you, nationwide is going places.
All right.
All right, Papa Nana.
God bless you. No.
Take
God
care.
bless you.
Good.
Ted, good evening.
Yes, good evening. How are you doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
Not too bad. Just a few points to add to what was discussed about Senna.
Yes.
It's a very, very, very powerful plant. And I'll give you some references. When, if you're going to take, when the doctor recommends you take a half teaspoon, it's only if you're taking just the leaves.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot try, at least at the first instance, never try to take more than less than a quarter teaspoon if you're taking the seeds. That is way, way more powerful.
As in more powerful as a laxative.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can get into problems with it.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, a very strange thing that I encountered, I used to do sell pharmaceuticals. And do you know that distribution companies in Jamaica actually import Senna by the bale? You know those big cotton bales that you see in Harlem?
Yes.
Things like that. And it is Senna coming from either Mexico, Guatemala, wherever, but it comes to the United States. And do you know that you could take a 40-foot container, park it out by the roadside on the I-91 out by Portmore, where Senna goes wild. It grows into massive trees out there. Yep. And it's all over. It grows very fast, you know. And for that reason, I take you now to the cows. If you are a dairy farmer, Senna is the most valuable plant you can put on your farm.
Why?
Senna is used to feed the dairy cows, and they give up to 5 or 6 more times the volume of milk. When they eat it. So what they do, they plant it in rows and they keep it like a hedge that the cows can get to it. And then they put a board around it with the electrified wire. But when the cows touch it, it stings them and they back off, so they don't eat on the whole of the plant, they eat the sides. That is how it is done on the dairy farms. But the thing is so powerful that they have to first, when the cows are heifers, they have to get a special bacteria with the licking salt block. You know, they give the cows salt blocks to lick. That bacteria has to be added to the intestines of the cow before the cow can absorb the Senna. Otherwise, it just pass through them and wash them out. So that has to be engrafted into the anatomy of the cows before they do it, they eat it. The other thing, I just one other thing to add to that, and when it comes to, if you watch National Geographic, you will see where the elephants, when the young is born, they allow the young to eat the dung from the mother in order to get that kind of bacteria to emulsify or to digest all the things that it will eat as an adult. Because it's not born with those bacteria. That is another way. And then for children, I don't know if you are old enough to know, but back when we had bush middies in Jamaica, the first thing the bush middy would do when they come to deliver the child, the baby, is to find a clean spot where, the farming has been done, no fertilizer or anything added to the soil, and they dig down about a foot or so into the dirt and take out that fresh dirt and make sure that as soon as the baby is born, they put it on the finger and let the baby have some of that dirt in order to introduce good bacteria into the baby's system.
Really?
And those babies don't have a lot of colds and allergies and stuff like you see everybody doing now, and in America and everything has to be cleansed and
So hold on there, sir.
Yes.
You're saying that in days gone by many years ago, when midwives would do the deliveries,
yes,
they would find a spot in the farm or
anywhere around this house where you haven't had fertilizers and all of that added. They're looking for what you call fresh dirt.
fresh to well, what is it in that kind of soil that is good for the bacteria for the baby?
All the bacteria that baby is going to encounter in that environment is there.
Oh.
And when babies are creeping around in the country and think they eat dirt.
Yeah, babies eat a lot because there's a time when everything them thing got them out.
Right, but it is also a need that the baby is satisfying without knowing or understanding it. When I was growing up and we were doing some reconstruction at my house, I started eating the chalk, you know, the white marl. Calcium has a lot of calcium in it.
Calcium carbonate, yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a craving for it, and I used to find the one that I could crack in my mouth and eat some.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we found out later on that I was lacking calcium because I had little white spots on my fingernails, and they disappeared.
Oh.
Wow. Just a few
right,
little
sir.
points to tell you about.
Thank you. Good.
Faithful, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Good. Good evening, Mr. Hughes.
Good evening, Faithful.
The young man that you have on interview that we selling the Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I think the difference is when I buy like some Toyota car, you know you buy it on a resale and they have the knowledge that they come up to resale it. But when they buy the KFC from the KFC chicken, he did not tell KFC that he's going to do retail it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's one of the problems. Right? The second problem, when I buy a car from Toyota, you go over to the buy, but yeah, I think KFC decline the proximity for where he is, meaning that he's undermining them with the same,
mm-hmm.
and they have to pay their worker.
Mm-hmm.
And that's two. And three, I guess what he's saying on his part now, I guess he's saying is no different than some of the programs that you have on here. That people on the internet, I don't know if it's your speed, take it and make more money off it sometimes when I want to make with it.
Mm-hmm.
You're aware of that, right? So I think that especially even in time in politics, when politics start,
yes,
there was a set up their device.
Yes.
To get the word that you use.
Yes, they would use our content
right
brazenly, openly, all over the place.
Well, and sometimes make money off it than you.
Yes, make more money than we.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's what he's saying to you. That it's no different what they do from what they do.
You have a point there, Faithful.
Yeah, right. Guess that is. Okay, that's what the 3 point on that.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to BBC today.
Yes.
And one of the doctors in Iran was saying that there's nobody died. It was a rumor.
Really?
Yes. Well, the doctor was saying that after over 2,000 and people died.
Yes. That is what you call a propagandist for the regime. Yes.
No. When I think I find it hard to digest, you know. I believe government is set up, number one, to protect its people, both in unfair treatment and in everything. And
mm-hmm.
when you take the gun and turn on your own people,
yep.
No man, I heard Mr. Trump say, "Boy, I say help is on the way."
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I don't know if I would disagree with Mr. Trump. I cannot stomach a government that's going to turn on themselves.
Yes.
Tenement take this for many years, and I never forget this. That thing harmed me until now, you know.
Which one was that?
Tenement Square, that in China.
Yes,
I think it was 79 something.
1989. Tiananmen Square,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, man, I don't know that. When I heard the amount of people that died, that thing tear me up in.
And I don't think they'll ever know precisely how many people have been killed in the protests in Iran because of the blackout, the information blackout, and the shutdown of the country's telecom system.
And what they did is a betrayal of the people's trust. Because it was the same manner. It's the same manner that brought them to power.
50 years ago.
Right.
Yes.
Because they said the Shah was suppressing speech, and the Shah would lock them up. But the Shah was not killing people on that scale. So they become worse. They become what the people advocate for, because the people send for him and install him for him to protect them, and they return and do it worse.
Yeah.
Be careful of everything that you ask for and anything I wish for. We should never give up our freedom.
Yeah.
Because when you rely on a dictator to dictate to you, they say they have all the power to do whatever they want.
Yes.
And you know what worse? They have the tenacity to say that they're going against God. Which God is saying to murder one of people?
They see themselves as God. The supreme leader is God. Yeah.
Come on.
Well,
religion can be good and can be dangerous.
It's what, Tuesday? It's Tuesday night?
Yes.
By Wednesday morning, Thursday, you hear the Americans are attacking.
Mr. Trump, when I applies the boy, I say he's not going to be the policeman of the world anymore. Say America is not the policeman of the world. But they become more than a policeman now. But if Trump attacks,
he's the police commissioner of the world.
You know, but if Trump attack Iran, boy, it will be very hard to go against that. You cannot see the gun and one of people.
Yep.
Oh, man, okay.
Bye.
Anyway, have a good day.
All right, faithful.
Bless.
630-9371 to 461-86730. Omalo, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Ricardo. Good evening, Cliff.
Good evening. Good evening.
You know, Cliff, Ricardo, I want to give you my observation on the Prime Minister and how he's dealing with the old Venezuela issue in the Caribbean. I'd love to give you my analogy on it, my observation.
Go ahead.
I think the Prime Minister is a Prime Minister that really loves democracy. And in his love for democracy, he served the people accordingly to how a democratic system would deal with the people. And the Prime Minister look at social media, one of the things that gives out a lot of information as to how the Jamaica people would be voicing their opinion based on this. He see a lot of silence. And he said, I represent the Jamaican people. The Jamaican people seems to know of a danger they are telling me that I must be aware of. And they are keeping silent. I represent them. I have no opinion on my own. I'm going to follow what they are saying through social media and through what I hear through the over-ear airwaves. Jamaican people have not much to say about it. The Prime Minister represents the people of Jamaica, and he's giving them their democratic right to stay silent because they are staying silent. This is where you see where we could reflect and look back in the 70s and say, if we had a Prime Minister that deal with the needs of the people and we're responding to what what was right rather than what was popular, what would Jamaica be today? If we had a hand like this in the 70s, what would Jamaica be today? It is not my ideology. It is not no ideology that I've been proving nothing that I'm going to try on you. But what I'm going to do is navigate the waters because I'm a realist. And what is real, that is what I have to deal with.
Yes, but there are some big differences between then and now.
What's the big difference?
Well, one, in the 70s, you had a bipolar world. You had two competing superpowers, really. Yeah? Now you have a unipolar world. Certainly.
No, you don't have a unipolar.
You have one superpower today.
No.
Which is the other one?
Which news are you? Come on, please, Mike. Come.
No, tell me. I ask you, which is the other superpower?
China is America's rival.
China is not the military superpower that is America, nor is Russia.
Cliff. 7 models, a lot of models have been run. And if America would beat China in the South China Sea, and it has said no way would America bringing resources can compete with China in the South China Sea. That is one of the reasons why America's economic system forces them to turn its backyard into its own colony now, so it can control resources that are leaving in here. So they have to price in the US dollar in order to give them some competition to stand firm, because they are economically at where the Romans were, or even where the British were in 1942 economically.
Omalo, the Chinese are coming. They are coming.
No, they're not.
They're coming.
No,
yes,
no.
they're rising.
Yeah,
We're talking about what is. We're talking about what is. The United States of America, at this moment, is the only military superpower in the world.
No,
unmatched.
It depends on region.
No, unmatched.
No,
why China never got to the help of Maduro?
No, it's not.
Why Putin not go to the help of Maduro?
China not going to come here the Western world, come do this type of stuff. This is the Western world border.
So how?
It would be the same problem if China,
America can leave North America and go to the Middle East, across the world?
No, but as soon as anything happens in the Middle East regarding, say, even at Iran, American warship have to be scrambling out the area and shutting down.
The point is, America can flex. America has the power, the capacity to flex its military muscle everywhere on earth.
If America only do this on country that are developing country, are low country when it comes on to military standards. America don't really do this countries that are military strong.
The issue is America is the only military superpower on earth today.
If you're at 1991,
I think first you need to define what is meant by military superpower. How do you understand that, Omalo?
A military superpower is a power that can go and act anywhere in the world based on its command and not in the interest of other nations. And America cannot do that when it comes down to certain places.
Where?
Come on to certain around Russia,
Where?
around in the South China Sea and these places. It cannot.
Well, you test it now.
I don't think that's quite right, Omalo. I think America has smartly not sought direct confrontation with China and Russia for a very important reason. That the three states are nuclear powers. And you do not want, certainly Donald Trump has been, much more bombastic in terms of his posturing. But you don't want that kind of clash. So it's avoided the clash. But I don't know that means it's because...
But there is no need.
Hold on. I don't know that it means it's because it cannot stand up to China and Russia. You just don't want that kind of clash, and so you avoid it.
No, but if there's a clash that you're never going to win, why would you put yourself
right?
In that,
and so that's what I'm saying.
clash?
I don't agree with you that they wouldn't win the clash. I don't accept that. I don't accept that. Which country has the largest nuclear arsenal?
It's maybe a few hundred missiles in Russia and America.
It's the United States.
Yeah, but maybe 6,000.
Which country spends the most on defense?
Some of the time you don't watch economics in that way. Just a minute, you ask me something and I'm supposed to answer it. You can spend, the Russians can spend $1,000 for a tank, and America spend $20,000 for the tank because of America or American industries are set up.
No.
Oh my gosh.
That's not why. You've heard of the U.S. military industrial complex, right?
Yes.
Yes, and you know that industrial complex develops and provides weapons all over the world. And it innovates at a rate that countries like China and Russia have to spy on to try to copy the technology.
You all are in the Western. You're like tied up in the Western world. You're bubble. You got to get out of the bubble. You got to get
All right,
out of
Omalu. Thank you very
Omalu.
You can't do this.
All right,
You-
Omalu. Those are facts. It's not a bubble. It's a fact. It's a fact.
Of course.
It's a fact. The espionage that Russia and China engages in is in an effort to try to copy
Yes.
and understand what America is doing because of how much it spends. It spends billions of dollars, and some people say it's immoral. While people are starving, it spends billions of dollars to develop, hone military technology at a pace that's faster than the rest of the world. And where it realizes, as Donald Trump has now, that China may be catching up, he has removed all kinds of regulations. He has refused, for example, to regulate AI. Because
All part of trying
precisely
to stay ahead.
So I think Cliff is right, Omalo, that China is catching up, and I think catching up fast.
Rising.
Absolutely. But I don't think it has yet eclipsed the United States at all. I don't think so.
How you see this Iranian thing going?
I think he's bluffing. I think, and I know you don't think so, but I think he is. And I'll tell you why. I think, and I still hope, let me say I hope.
Even after he tweeted this
morning. I saw it.
Help is on the way.
Yeah, I saw it.
So he's going to do another Obama.
But you remember Syria. You remember the famous red line.
Red lines.
Good.
And Obama did nothing.
And it's because that region is so peculiar that even if you want to, when you confront the options of what that intervention would look like, you realize you probably can't do it. You probably can't do it. So I think he's bluffing. God, I hope he's bluffing. Because
But Faithful said something, I'm no admirer, friend of Trump. And I know the dangers of going into Iran. And
it would destabilize the entire region.
But I don't know.
Yes, it
would.
would.
Iran is so weakened now. Yeah? Because after the 12-day war last year, when the Israeli gave them a backsiding,
yes,
yeah, they are very weakened. Yeah? And I don't think they represent the kind of threat that they did, 5 years ago. Yeah? Frankly, I think, and the Americans, based on the intelligence, and I'm sure the Israelis will be informing them as well, as to how vulnerable
the regime is.
Yes, yeah, that it may be the best moment to get rid of them.
Fine, but for me, it's not so much toppling the regime; it's what comes after. And I think that is where I am not convinced.
Yes,
that would be the best course of action.
Yes,
yes, and that's it's not so much a toppling. I think the toppling would be relatively easy, but it's the what comes after, and the possible descent into sectarian conflict, civil war. I don't know,
and the instability
that it would cause.
Yeah,
yes, the ripple effects. Yeah,
I don't know. Well, that's where we're going to leave it for today. I want to say thanks to our callers, or YouTubers, or WhatsAppers, and our tweets. Of course, our producer, Dana Davey, our technical operator, Mr. Boogs, Andrew Anderson, the members of the news and production team. Thank you all so much. I'm Cliff Hughes.
And I'm Ricardo Brooks.
Reminding you, take care of your loved one and look out for your neighbor.
Good night.
In times of loss, sharing information